All right, everybody, welcome back to Culz Sports Chat. First off, we want to say thank you to our 1200th subscriber. Not sure who you are because YouTube really doesn't show us much anymore. So, hey, whoever you were, thank you for helping us hit our 1200th subscriber. We appreciate it. Today, we are going to talk about both fantasy football, real life football, maybe a little bit of the mixing of the both because, man, it's been a weird season where the majority of quarterbacks playing are backups. So it's a weird year for sure. Looks like we got Scott, Bob, and Matt joining us tonight. Scott, we know you went to Albuquerque. We weren't able to talk to you last week. How did that go?
We did very well. We did very well. I played with the Phoenix Coyotes sled hockey team. We went there for a three-team tournament, kind of a little round robin, which we went 4-0, and that put us into the championship game against the team that had the second best round robin record. And then that went to a overtime shootout, and we just came up one goal short in the overtime shootout. Went 6 rounds. We got two, and they got 3 goals in that period, and so they get first place, and we came home with second place. Still a very, very good tournament. We had a lot of firsts, both individually for a lot of our players, and so we're all really very happy with, even with the second place finish. It was still a good tournament, great tournament.
No, it's good to hear. I know all the guys were looking forward to see how you did. So definitely sounds like you had a fun time at least.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
try? Did you try Whataburger while you were there?
Honestly, we didn't have time. We honestly did not have time. I kind of figured we ended up having 5 games in about a 36-hour time frame. So we were on the ice and off the ice, got a little bit of sleep, get back on the ice, play 3 games, get off the ice, sleep, and then get back on the ice again. That's about all we had time to do.
Well, it sounds like you did good, and we're very proud. I'm excited that you guys did good. I was thinking about you guys too, at least you, because I was reading this book, Bridging the Tragedy again. It's written by some friends of mine who live in Illinois, but they were talking about one of their interviewees who went to IU and was talking about Nashville, Indiana, and stuff. And I was like, oh, I know where all that is, right outside
Yeah,
Bloomington and everything.
yeah,
So,
very nice place.
Bobby, how are you doing? You all ready for the holiday season?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, look, I got festive background. We got our Christmas themed
Yep.
Sue tower in the background. So, I mean, Santa's back there for you as
Yep.
well. Once Matt gets on, I gotta ask him why he has a Burger King.
Yep.
Well, I can hear you just barely, though.
What if you listen to us on YouTube? Like, plug your headphones into YouTube and listen that way.
But there'll be a delayed feed then.
That's true. You
So
can at
I'd
least
be like one of those TV reporters that just like is staring at the camera and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're doing great, Johnny. Welcome. We're here at Burger King."
Why are we at Burger King tonight? What is the occasion?
Dude, it was a free Whopper day today. If you showed up to the King, got a free Whopper today. All you had to do was buy some French fries.
There you go.
Hey, maybe I'll go to a Burger King now. I'll just drive right on over. So, Matt, you played this week fantasy football. Didn't have the turnout you were looking for. Mark's team keeps overscoring his projections by like 40 or 50. How did you feel this weekend?
To be honest, it was a letdown. We went into the week thinking, we were going to win. We're moving on to the next round, and we got caught up in looking ahead of schedule. We did what the Broncos generally do. They look ahead, they forget that they're playing a game, and we just didn't show up. Josh Allen choked, Stephon Diggs choked. Although the Bills look great. just really nothing we could have done. Even when I looked at, shoot, what if I would have started Browning? Browning would have got me 20 extra, but I still would have lost. So congratulations, to the California Sun Hitters. Or was it the Desert Dogs? I don't remember. It was
one of them. Mark, California Sun Hitters.
Yeah, that California Sun Hitters team, man, hit pretty hard. So good luck to them, though. I enjoyed it, though. I mean, there's next year, as always.
As always, right? Yeah, Mark moves on to conference championship. He's made it a few times, and he's won a championship, at least in our league. So excited for him. He will be going up against Brendan, who had a very close game this week against David. And he pointed something out that his team and David's teams do not play very good. This is the second time they've played each other this year, and both under 100 points. So I told him maybe he's my Birmingham, or David's his Birmingham bat. Speaking of, there we go. Brendan.
Oh, Brendan.
He comes on just as we talk about him.
Why are you talking about me?
What?
That's why my ears were burning, huh?
Yes, more than likely.
We were saying that
yes, I did refer to the possibility of sitting Josh Allen and starting Browning, but like I said, it wouldn't have done me any good. But love the name, man, Clark Griswold. Good one. But yeah, no, I should have sat Josh Allen. Got some extra points.
Right. Almost wonder if that's the other Scott in Florida, because I know he showed me he got his Clark Griswold jersey all ready to go.
The Grizz, man.
Brendan, though, we were talking because Matt just talked about his game. Mark's moving on to play you this week. How are you feeling going into the conference championship? Something that your team's used to doing.
I worry, honestly. I worry. We'll just try to put our best foot forward and go from there. But I feel the past few weeks, I haven't been able to. I think it was like the first 4 or 5 weeks this year, I, scored 150 like every week. And recently, if I score 100, it's a blessing because I feel like I haven't been able to score 100, which isn't good in our league. Usually, it doesn't win you games. I think besides my opponent, everyone scored over 100.
I mean, so, Blazing Red was the number 3 highest scoring team and lost.
Right, exactly. And it's, I didn't even score 100, and somehow I won my game. So Mark, who just scored 160, all I can hope for is his players don't do it well.
Yeah, and on the other side of the bracket,
I don't know if my team's showing up.
Right. Yeah, no, on the other side of the bracket, we saw Blake's team show up. I don't know if many of us were projecting that just because he had a bunch of backups playing. Or not his starters, we should say. Not backups, but not his go-tos. A lot of injuries going in this week, a lot of question marks. And, man, did he lay down a victory. Just, killing it. And then my team squeaked out a win. I was nervous. We were my team was close with Shane for a while there. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull that one off, but it'll be me versus Dark Horse. So, hey, I know he's already called it out on our fantasy chat. It's going to be the same old. But, hey, maybe we'll throw it back to a couple years ago when I beat him by 100. But it should be good. I told Brendan today if we meet, maybe we can actually finish our championship game from last year since we never got to finish.
If we both lose, even though we're fighting for third, we could still complete our championship game.
Right?
If we
As long as
lose,
that's
you're
both
still
win
winning
or both lose.
points.
Yeah. Well, mine's interesting too, my matchup, because I'm playing Dark Horse, who is in my division, tied for the same record. And I guess we'll find out who's actually king of the division this week, right?
Right.
It's our rematch, and I'm excited. I don't know. I don't know if I can start Lamar this week. They're playing San Francisco, and I saw Justin Fields is playing Arizona, so I feel maybe I should start Fields going this week, and hope for the best. But that brings us. Let's talk to the scores that happened this week, because there's some interesting games and definitely some interesting reactions by certain people in the media, which we will get to. I just thought it was really funny. First one was the Raiders-Chargers game that was over by halftime. I was in the midst of an interview, got out of the interview, checked the score, and I was like 42-0. Like, this is the same team that just lost 3-0? Like, what's going on? Matt, did you watch that game?
Yeah, no, we definitely got to see some of the game, but it was already when I turned it on, it was like 63-14 or something. Where it was just like, well, shoot, that one's over.
Right.
But, wow, yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
No, and that team is a mess. Like, for a team that some people were saying Super Bowl, they have just not shown up this year. Obviously, we saw Staley get fired. The GM got fired. Something I think everyone kind of saw was coming, but definitely after a beatdown of historic proportions, not something that was going to stick around too long there. Saturday had some games. We had 3 actually, which was very weird for both fantasy and just like normal, like, I don't know, football world. It's, you're used to a college, not used to NFL. Maybe you get one. Matt, we'll start with you because the Bengals beat the Vikings in overtime. How do you feel with the new quarterback? Obviously, you guys made that change.
It was a little bit more satisfying to see a quarterback go in there who had a little bit, it seems like, more confident swagger, but ultimately we still didn't win the game, and that's what matters most. It was kind of a letdown. I mean, honestly, it was, the defense played really well up until that, 5 minutes in the third quarter, 6 minutes, right where they allowed the back-to-back touchdowns and allowed the Bengals right back in the game. You can't win games like that. You've got to shut down the offense. You can't let them score. So I think the Vikings just got caught up in thinking that they were going to win the game and that things were going their way, and at the end of the day, it didn't.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are still.
Oh, yeah. Very true. That does bring up a good point. The Raiders beat down on San Diego does kind of go back to the Broncos 70-20 loss to the Miami Dolphins.
I think the Chargers still lost by less points.
Right? Well, they scored more too.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys still in the playoff hunt. I think, what are you, 6 or 7 seed right now?
Yeah, it's 6 seed. Packers are behind us still.
So you guys are still there. We'll get to predictions, but how are you feeling these final few weeks?
Dude, it's going to be a letdown either way. I mean, we squeak into the playoffs. We're out in the first round, so I'd rather us miss it and just, let's get our crap together for next season. But you never know. You could string together some wins and get hot at the right time. And look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. What was it, like 4 years ago now, 5 years ago, where, they just got hot at the right time and made it to the championship game. That could happen here too. Who knows? But I doubt it.
Well, speaking of another team in playoff contention who played Saturday, Indianapolis just decimated Pittsburgh. Like, Pittsburgh is just looking worse week by week, and the Colts are looking hotter and hotter. Scott, how are you guys feeling right now? Obviously, Gardner's playing pretty well.
Gardner's doing well. Biggest worry, however, is the really bad hit that Pittman took trying to get a catch, and he got torpedoed and was out of the game. He did not look good at all walking off the field after that hit. So if he can really come back, then that leaves Downs and Pierce to do some catching. Not too bad. I mean, they're each have their benefits in their own right, but neither one is a Pittman, and so it is going to be kind of interesting going on from here on out. And again, the other question is who's going to be running the ball? Taylor's out with his thumb injury. Moss is kind of in and out. Had a backup runner. I can't think of his name. He just came off the practice squad. Had a few good runs, but now whether he can carry the load, we don't really know. So we'll have to see that. And then obviously you got to have the Colt defense really take care of business on their side of the ball. If they do that, then we got shots. But like with a lot of teams in this league, Colts have their questions. We'll have to see what happens.
Right. Well, and then we saw one team with playoff contentions finish Saturday night in dominating fashion. Detroit absolutely stomping the Denver Broncos. Really kind of showing that they deserve the playoff spot, and Broncos might have played themselves into a corner. They're now outside the range for the top quarterbacks, and they might not make the playoffs. We talked to my dad not too long ago, and he said they're going to miss the playoffs and not be able to draft a quarterback. So it could be a Matt, you have something to say?
I was just going to say I fully agree with your dad on that one. Jesus, what?
No.
Dirty teams in the NFL. How can anyone?
I don't agree with that.
What a joke. Yeah, Sammy, we're going to get to that here in a little bit. There's a lot of controversy with the Broncos and their style of play, especially on the defensive side. But I was happy because, like I said, the Broncos don't deserve to be in a playoff spot. They're not that good of a team. Again, it's similar to the Vikings situation. You're going to get in there, yippee, and then you're going to lose in the first round. So now you're stuck with that Russell Wilson contract. So, I don't know. Good luck.
Brendan, do you have anything to add to this game? I know it affects you so much, the Bronco game.
Oh, no.
What is the feeling, since you're in Kansas and closer than us to Kansas City, Missouri? How are they feeling about the Broncos, or is it more just about the Chiefs not being able to do anything on offense?
It's more the Chiefs on offense than anything, honestly. I don't think. I think a lot of people are still on the highs of Super Bowls and stuff, and highs on Patrick Mahomes, so they're more, Patriots fan-esque of nose up in the air. So they more wonder why their offense can't do shit right now than they are worried about, the lesser teams of their division. So,
which, you got to worry about the your own team first, right? It doesn't matter what other teams are doing if your team can't handle it. And yeah, we'll get to it a little bit later as far as the Broncos play. I know.
Well, I know we're going to get to it later, but I can't wait to hear Brendan's take on his team's performance this week.
Oh, speaking, tying into the Broncos, because the Broncos got a penalty that a lot of people were upset about, right? But the Eagles got called for the same thing. And the Eagles players then come out and say, what's his face? Kelsey actually said, yeah, no, I was warned. It was my bad. So he took responsibility. It wasn't the ref. So the Eagles are handling it with class. So
Kind
good.
of.
Hey, I didn't see Sirianni roasting Hurts on the sideline. Hey, Hurts played well, but everyone was hyping him up like he's going to be the next Michael Jordan, Walter Payton breaking the rushing record in the flu,
Well, they were. I saw one like meme that was, show me the difference of this photo, and it was, Jalen Hurts in his flu game and Michael Jordan in his flu game, and I was just,
Yeah, you're just like, there's a lot of differences.
yeah.
What about the original Chicago flu game? Walter Payton breaking the single game rushing record with 104-degree temp.
He did break one record though. It was either the most rushing touchdowns in league or by franchise by a quarterback. So I mean, he did break a record during his flu game. So there's that.
Right. Well, then let's get to Sunday. We had some more just weird games. The Saints killed the Giants. Did anyone pick that? I don't know. I think some of us might have picked the Saints to win, but hey, their offense showed up for once. They've been kind of hot and cold all year.
Yeah, last week was a rough week.
They showed up.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to fully get on. By the time I got on, it was like verbiage. It was crazy being down at the club and trying to do the relaying the speaker wires and everything. So yeah, in my own head, I did pick the Saints to win that game in my pick'em league.
Well, then the ghost of Otto Graham is haunting me now. The Browns beat the Bears in the most just devastating
way to lose, really.
Yeah, he had the touchdown. He had Justin Fields gains the time, waits till he can throw, and what does he do? He throws the ball to his receiver. His receiver catches it and then drops it.
I think that's the second or third time that's happened to them.
Yeah. See, it's not Justin Fields. And DJ Moore came out. Yep, DJ Moore came out and said, I don't want Caleb Williams. See that? Listen, Chicago. It's funny because we don't even know if Caleb Williams is coming out from college yet.
Well, and he wants stake of ownership in a team. What team is going to draft you with that ridiculous want?
Right. Hey, I still believe in Justin Fields. He might be my starting quarterback this week. So I have faith. Scott, what's your feeling on the whole Bears situation this past week?
You play an entire game, and all you can do is 20-17. There's not a whole lot there to really say anything about. There was just nothing there. So, yeah, as a former Chicagoite, lived in that area. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not there anymore, because boy, I'd be feeling really crappy about now, and not really sure who we would draft. I'm sorry, I don't have that great feeling about Field. Of course, I had that exact same feeling about Murray in Arizona. All name and no real show. I kind of feel let's move on with both of them. If I was in Chicago, I'd say let's move on from Field, get somebody. And I'm saying the exact same thing about Arizona. So.
Yes, and we'll get to Arizona because they did something in a victory and still lost it. It's just crazy. But first, Carolina gets a win. Their second of the year. and just a field goals. You know, the kicker single-handedly beat the Atlanta Falcons 9-7, and just whew, I feel bad for the Panthers fans having to watch that. It is not good in Carolina, and they don't have a first-round pick. Obviously, that's with Chicago. Not looking pretty bright there. How about the Packers? Hot and cold. Scott, how did you feel about that Tampa Bay Green Bay game?
Well, I thought, wow, Baker Mayfield really came out firing. He looked great. I was really happy about how Baker was doing. That was a good game from Tampa Bay. The one thing with all this season is you kind of have games like that. You don't necessarily have a series of games like that. Um, so we had they had an awesome game this past week. I don't know if we can say exactly the same thing come next week. We'll have to see.
Right. Yeah, it's been hot and cold with a lot of teams. Uh, Dolphins looking hot again though, 30-0, just beat down of the Jets. I know before last week there was some question marks about Hurts and Brendan. You almost started Zach Wilson over Hurts because of him possibly not playing. How are you feeling with that decision? I mean, obviously Wilson leaves the game injured, negative 3 points. How do you feel?
Happy that I was busy Sunday, that I figured I saw it too late and couldn't make a too rash of a decision.
Right. Well, and then let's see. Chiefs, got the victory. They were playing the Patriots though, 27-17. So I guess they did some things. Brendan, have you guys seen an uptick in Taylor Swift CDs and albums at local stores?
I have no clue, honestly.
No.
Brendan, you gotta
I
go.
don't work
You
at
gotta go
stores anymore.
I know, but you can shop it. You're investigative journalism now. You gotta go inside the Walmarts and stuff and see.
I'll ask my cousin who works at Walmart.
Yeah, just be like, how much have we gotten more Taylor Swift stuff now? What about Texans? They won 19-16 in overtime to the Titans. Houston beat Houston this week because it was the Houston Oiler themed jerseys. I know JJ Watt said, "Too bad now there are jerseys." That'd be kind of a fun thing, right? Each year they play to see who gets the rights to the Houston jerseys, right? Nothing. Come on, Brandon. Something from you at least.
I'm okay with both teams. I wouldn't care who had wore what.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It don't matter who really wears them. To me, the Texans are the Texans. They're not the Oilers of old. That's your old franchise. Move on from it. You don't see the Cleveland Browns, or the Baltimore Ravens wanting to wear Cleveland Browns gear or anything like that.
No, I don't think that would go over well. They also
Browns versus
that
Browns.
wouldn't go well at all.
The Browns also gave up the rights to leave the city, and then they named themselves after the Edgar Allan Poe poem. So it's one of the few poets I think has an NFL team named after something of his. But that brings me to a game where the 49ers killed the Cardinals in everything but total yards. So, Scott, how did the Cardinals outpace the 49ers and lose?
Very easily. They can do that for whatever reason. They can do that, and they still lose. The big thing is that defense. I don't know if you happen to see the one long pass to McCaffrey where he's stumbling backwards to catch the ball, falls down as he's catching it, but there's not a Cardinal within 20 yards of him, and so he basically just pops up and walks right into the end zone. That's the whole Arizona Cardinals season right there in a nutshell, right in one play. There he is. Guy just fumbling and bumbling and falls down, happens to have it drop into his belly as he's on the ground, and he scores a touchdown. So
Well, and so I think right now they are slotted at number 3 if the draft started. Do you see them making a play to trade off Murray and then try to trade perhaps with Chicago for that number 1 pick if Williams comes out?
I never know what the heck the Cardinals front office is doing at any particular moment in time. You know, there's a whole lot of things that would make sense to do. Whether it comes from the HQ in Cardinals offices, that's going to be fun to see. I mean, that is the big could be the one-time bet. Any type of prop bets going on with the Cardinals front office and what they could do. The odds on those would be astronomical about anything that would make sense. So,
Right. So it's kind of like wait and see.
yeah.
That brings us Commanders, Rams. Rams just going to find a way to sneak into the playoffs somehow. Commanders keeping it close, but they did make a quarterback change. Jacoby Brissett came in and outpaced Sam Howell in just a few drives. So I don't know what's going to happen there. We know Ron Rivera is going to be out at the end of the year, if not sooner. But yeah, I think the Rams will sneak in. Brendan, the next game had to have at least had you happy for a little bit, right? The Bills just smacking the Cowboys all around the field. Like Dallas could not get it started. How did you feel?
It's what happens when you can run the ball. It's what happens when you run the ball against the Cowboys. I mean, they.
Whoa! Was that a Cowboys helmet, Matt? At a Burger King? Why would you do that?
It's floating down
it's
into the sea, sinking to the
sucking-
bottom of the ocean.
It's
It's
a
like the
sucking
playoff
team
hopes of the
for,
Cowboys going
place
down.
to move. I mean, it matches. He's just trying to fit in.
If he was trying to fit in, it'd probably be a Whataburger.
That's true.
I would take the Whataburger any day over the Burger King.
What
I
about
would
the
too.
New Mexico Whataburger?
No, thank you. I value my life too much to eat in New Mexico. Whataburger.
Come on, you don't want to side a lead with that?
No.
That's still the craziest thing. We were like, we just went to the guy. That's it. I'll get a Walmart. And then Matt could even buy a belt because it was in a glass case. Craziest thing I've ever seen. Matt, hey, Josh Allen and the Bills won, though. I know it didn't help you out.
Yeah, but he still didn't look good. You know, I mean, it's just crazy. He should have. I don't know, man. I'm so bitter because I lost because Josh Allen. You know, not happy about it. You know.
Well, I don't know. It was a weird game. Ravens on Sunday night, Lamar Jackson and them just turned it up. Lamar had some really good plays, and Jacksonville, for being a team that needs some wins, just not putting up a lot of fight lately. I don't know what's going to go on there. I know they've gotten hurt in the receiving, and Trevor Lawrence is hurt. He's still playing, but he's not 100%. But I just don't know where that's going to go. But that should bring us to Monday night. Brendan, Eagles, Seahawks played. I thought you guys were going to take it for a bit. It was 10-3 at halftime, and we just could not stop you guys. Now he has an Eagles helmet. You are sending mixed messages, Matt.
It just joined the Cowboys helmet at the bottom of the Burger King Ocean. It's falling down slowly.
Hi.
Well, they changed their defensive coordinator, what, day before the game? 2 days?
And I don't know if it helped at all.
I don't know.
I don't even know. I didn't really get to watch the game. We did some other things outside of our house, so we weren't really at home, so I didn't really get to watch it too much. But from what I've been seeing and what I've been reading, it's along the same lines of what AJ Brown said a couple weeks ago or last week, even out after the Dallas game of, our offense is too bland. And, I saw a meme about it today, showing, the Madden playbook on, Madden, the video game. It's like they're running 4 plays and, I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if it's Jalen Hurts. I don't know if it's the ownership, because I also read a couple articles recently saying that the only reason Nick Sirianni got the job was because he's a yes man, and he'll do whatever ownership tells him to do, and he'll do whatever, to keep his job, and he's a yes man. Which then makes me wonder, if that's true, is Jalen Hurts then also a yes man? And instead of just, doing the plays that you're given, like a wide open Kenneth Gainwell, instead of throwing it triple coverage into AJ Brown. So I don't know. I did see bring Frank Reich back to Philly, which I don't think I'd be mad about, just because I believe he was our offensive coordinator when we won the Super Bowl. And I'll pull the "we're hurt" card for our defense. We haven't had our starting safety. We haven't had our starting corner. Our defensive line has too many stars that we're rotating them too much, I think, or we're relying on I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Philly, but it is, it's starting to show that another article I read out of Philly was saying, Philly doesn't know its own identity. They need to go back and figure out who they are first, because the first, weeks of the year they were, DeAndre Swift is the next LaShawn McCoy. He's a great running back and blah, 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 and showing all this potential. And then somewhere we stopped running the ball. And now, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was going to say a few, people have said it, other radio hosts, the Eagles are missing something. I mean, there's just some sort of chemistry or personnel. There's just something that they're missing.
Yeah, we'll see the next 3 weeks. I believe if we win out the next 3 weeks, we win our division. And I'd rather be the 2nd seed, honestly, than the 5th. But we have clinched to the playoffs, so we're in the dance, and that's kind of all that really matters. We'll, hopefully, fix the bugs by the time it gets here.
Scott, what were your feelings on the Monday night game?
Well, I thought Seattle played really, really well. I thought Walker the third ran the ball very well. Charbonnet ran it pretty well. Yeah, I mean, it was a very good win for Seattle. Even
Matt, what about you?
In the bad weather, especially in the bad weather.
Right, it was pouring. I know when the game first started, it was kind of neat because they showed where they raised the flag, which me and Brendan have been up to there. And so that was cool, but it was so funny because it was just so wet. There was so much rain just coming down in the beginning. I was like, this is going to be crazy.
I think Seattle wore the wrong uniforms, for sure.
What do you mean?
I think they should have wore their throwbacks.
I
Monday
kind
Night
of
Football.
I kind of thought, hey, we should have our blue throwbacks. Eagles have their white, throwbacks.
Yep. I
And
mean,
look at
why have two teams not done that yet? Where hey, you guys wear your throwbacks, we'll wear our because it's happened before, right? But I think it's been quite a while. You know, you got to think back to when the Broncos and the Raiders wore their jerseys from what was it, the AFL, where the Broncos wore the brown and mustard pinstriping, and the Raiders, black and gold or black and silver as always. But why two teams don't pre-work it out? You know, the Patriots and Oilers. Hey, let's have a classic throwback with our unis. That would be fun to watch, as opposed to
Seahawks
watching
Oilers.
one team wear their stuff from the 80s and the other team wearing their current threads, especially if they were a team around in the 80s. Like I think the Broncos coming up this week are wearing their
White helmet.
they're wearing their old uniform, but not their old looking helmet, but not fully. But I think it would be cool if their opponents did the same.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd enjoy a Seahawks Oilers or Seahawks Kelly Green Eagles. I think would be cool. But yeah, I enjoyed how the Seahawks played. I like them more as the team that everyone doubts. I think that's where they thrive more. And they've always gotten the best with Pete Carroll. I mean, everyone doubted Bruce Irvin.
Totally agree.
When they picked him at 15. Let's not pick Bruce Irvin there. Let's not pick Richard Sherman. He's not going to be good. People doubted Russ. People doubted, Drew Lock last night. And he led a comeback victory and threw a ball that was a little scary, Big Jibba did good there. But hey, Lock got it done, and I enjoyed his response when they interviewed him after. He seemed very human. And having dealt with Russ for multiple years where it was just kind of robotic and what people should say, this just felt more off the cusp and in his heart. And I enjoyed that he gave more credit to his teammates and said that they rose up to help support him more than he did anything. So I was happy.
Dude, I still think the craziest catch of the week goes, well, not, it wasn't a catch, but it would have went to the Chicago Bears if it wasn't for, the ball falls in your lap and how you can't secure it, but yet you manage to kick it up in the air and then somebody intercepts. And then that was probably the craziest finish to the whole week of football. The Bears were my one upset pick of the week and they couldn't pull through, and to see it that close, I feel the pain of Bears fans. That's one of those ones where it's like, yep, welcome to the life of being a Bears fan.
A double doink, right? Oh, yeah, no. I don't know. That DK catch was pretty good, too.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah, he had some pretty nice catches there. Throw DK the ball. Fant was looking pretty good. Obviously, they had the connection in Denver, so I don't know. I was happy we're still alive, so we'll see where we go. We still have an outside chance, so hey, if we win out, I think we have a decent shot. Before we get to picks, Matt, I know Bounty Gate 2.0, gotta mention it. What's your feelings on the Broncos?
When you just look at the amount of starting players the Broncos defensive team has taken out this season, it really does make you question, and especially since this is a Sean Payton-led team, that, they are teaching the guys the wrong way about making these hits and playing the sport of football in today's game. I think Sean Payton is one of those guys who is, no matter what, get me the ball. Whether you got to rip the guy's head off, get me the ball. So I think the Broncos, because of Sean Payton, are going to go down as a dirty team. They're dirty with their hits. They're dirty with the way they play on the defensive side of the ball. It's just, that's who they are.
Oh, before we continue, looks like we got a person that is in their Super Bowl week, so they're a week ahead of us. Brendan, I know you and me are both in the conference. Maybe we should go first. It says pick one running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, full PPR. Bajan Eckler, Singletary, Mixon, Cup, Ayuk, Higgins, or Flowers. So one running back. Let's see, who are they playing?
That's what I was just about to look up.
Yeah,
let's
well, it's who are they playing and what is the weather like too? I mean, that has a
Atlanta's-
huge.
Atlanta's at home against the Colts.
Right, so you're in a dome stadium.
Eckler,
Mixon's against Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh.
which is going to be division. That's going to be kind of hard. Do you trust any Charger player at this point? You know,
Right.
They play Buffalo as well, who needs a win,
Singletary plays Cleveland.
which is a tough defense. So, if we have to pick one running back out of those four, I would probably pick Bijan. It's tough, but the other three, Eckler, I don't trust the Chargers. Singletary is going against a good defense, and Mixon has a better chance than the past two. But I'd say Robinson. Brennan, who are you taking?
I'd say Mixon.
Scott?
Yeah, Bijan's up and down.
Yeah, and even with about Bijan, if they Jets get behind, well, they're not going to be running the ball; they'll be passing like crazy. So out of those, I would go with Mixon out of those choices.
Matt?
For me, I don't know. Man, Eckler is, if you were to go with any guy on the Chargers team, would be the one to choose. But you're right. It's so hit and miss with that team. I'm probably going to lean towards Mixon as well on this one. I agree with what Scott says. You know, the Jets are a team that, you know, trail quite a bit. When you look at their tendencies, they turn to their passing game then, which is non-existent. I mean, I would love for them to just stick with the ground game because it seems like that can get them, you know, to where they need to be, but they give up on it real quick. They do have that tendency as well.
Well, then now we got to pick two wide receivers. I think who do 49ers have this week?
Ravens.
Oh, that's
And Cup has New Orleans.
and Flowers obviously has the 49ers. And Higgins has the Steelers. I'd probably say Ayuk to be safe. Whew. Give me Higgins. Ayuk and Higgins. Brendan.
I say Cup and Ayuk.
Okay.
I think Cup has a better game Thursday night.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd go Cup on Ayuk too.
Matt.
You throw me in that boat as well. Give me Cup and Ayuk.
All right. So I think that made it pretty clear for wide receivers. All right. So Brendan, who's your flex?
I don't know. Flowers is going against a hard defense. Higgins has an okay chance. I don't really know much about the Steelers secondary this year. I mean, I agree with Matt that, you know, if I was to choose a Charger, it would be Eckler. Bijan is too hot and cold. I would love to choose him, but you know, he does have a favorable matchup against the Colts, but the Falcons aren't using him correctly. They're not using any of their weapons correctly. Singletary has shown that he can be a lead back as of recent. I don't know. Come back to me.
Scott.
I think for the flexes, I would probably then take Singletary in the flex, and I'm kind of torn a little bit between Higgins and Flowers. I think I'd probably go with Flowers, probably because of Lamar getting him the ball. I've kind of always been a believer that a receiver is only as good as the guy who can get him the ball. And I think that Lamar would be with Lamar's arm would kind of go well with Flowers. At the same time, now with Chase out, this past week, Browning hit Higgins on a number of times. Um, so yeah, I think I'd still lean on Flowers for my second flex on this pick.
What about you, Matt?
In this flex, I think I'm going to go with Eckler. I just think Chargers are due for something good to happen. I mean, you can keep saying that every year, but I think they really are due for something good to happen, and he's going to have one of those breakout games. And yeah, give me Flowers as well. So that would be Eckler and Flowers for my side.
For me, I'd say Mixon and Higgins. For me, I think Cincinnati's going to have a good. It's division, but I think they'll pull it off. So, Brendan, back to you.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do Bijan and Higgins. Yeah. I don't love Flowers' matchup, and I think Bijan's going to have the easiest of the running backs besides Mixon. So Singletary, I think, could be a good one just because he does catch a lot of passes, but I think that's going to be tough.
All right, we got another one. Dylan, what's up, y'all? Got a bunch of questions. Made it to next round. Need help perfecting my lineup, though, if that's all right. Yeah, it's all good. And it looks like our moderator already commented. So we got one question. All full PR. Number one. Looks like Flacco, Stroud, or Mullins, or DeVito. Who would you start, Brennan? Personally, I think if Stroud plays, give me Stroud. If he doesn't play, give me Flacco.
Yeah, I have to agree. Stroud is showing that he can do stuff even against good defenses. I do worry about that defensive front of Cleveland for Stroud, but I think either Stroud or Flacco, I don't think the other two are going to do a whole lot against their defenses.
Scott?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely go Stroud. No matter if he plays, Stroud without question. If he's not, then out of the other ones, I'd have to go with Flacco. So
Matt?
Dude, that's a tough one. Obviously, Stroud if he plays. Flacco, you got to wonder if he's not having the who am I thinking of? Gosh, Dobbs. The Dobbs effect right now. Dobbs came into that new system and right away performed very well, but it was only time before other teams caught up to it again. I mean, Dobbs is who he is. Flacco is who he is. Is our team's finally going to catch up to him and his style of play? And he's Flacco again. He's not the great Joe Flacco, But watching Mullins and the Vikings quarterbacks, it's brutal this year. I mean, I think, yes, Stroud if he plays, but I would go with Flacco as well. But hopefully he can keep it hot and going. But I just don't have confidence in the Vikings quarterbacks right now.
That's coming from a Vikings fan, so we know that is authentic. All right, so start 2 running back, 1 flex. Mixon, Cook, Pollard, Reed, likely. For me, I would say Mixon, and probably Cook. And then if I had to play one as a flex, I guess Pollard would be my flex. Brendan.
I agree on the running backs, Mixon and Cook. For the flex, though, I was thinking Reed or Pollard. I think Reed has the easier matchup at going against Carolina, but I don't know a whole lot about Green Bay's offense because I think I've only seen one game of theirs. So yeah.
Scott.
Well, gosh, James Cook has been a monster the last 3 weeks. Definitely go with Cook. And then I'd probably go with Mixon in the second spot. Then on my flex, I think I might go with Reed just because it's going against Carolina, which is not a very good reason, but I think that's what I would probably do with that flex on that.
And Matt.
Dude, I hate Cook right now. He's the reason why I lost my fantasy tournament. No, Cook is tearing it up like nobody's business right now. And, of course, the Bills are going to stick with the hot hand and keep it rolling. He would easily be one of those starting ones for me. Mixon has looked great, but Carolina and their defense, they're not a good run-stopping defense. So Reed could have a potential breakthrough game, great game, put up some big numbers in this one too. So he'd probably be my flex, but I'm definitely going with Cook and Mixon.
All right. So we got that. And then it looks like his defense, Broncos versus New England or Green Bay versus Carolina. As much as I hate to say it, probably Denver versus New England. We'll get to their defense here in a second, but yeah, I'd have to say Denver. Brennan.
Yeah, I agree. Green Bay could also be a good one. I think it's the matchup mainly. Carolina's offense isn't doing much, but New England's is falling apart. They lose their number one receiver. Their number one running back is now hurt and out. So, I mean, it's a coin flip. That's how I feel.
Scott, what about you?
Yeah, I don't think it'd be much of a choice for me. I would definitely go with Green Bay for my defense.
And then Matt.
You got to go with the cheaters, man. You got to go with that dirty Denver Bronco defense. Right now, they are playing really good. They're just not being clean, but Denver definitely has the best defense going right now.
Well, I mean, Denver's at home, but Green Bay's going to be playing in an empty stadium like we're back in 2020. So it's a toss-up.
But here's the potential too: is that Denver could very well have a massive snow snarl blizzard during that game as well. So it could be very sloppy field, which always makes for good defense.
Yeah, especially a bounty defense. It looks like Dylan has another one. Hey, we're helping out. Brennan, you and me are in conference championship. Maybe we'll be back in the championship 2 years in a row. So, hey, not the worst people, I suppose. I see lots of fantasy championships when I look around the panel right here. We've at least all won one. So, Matt's won too. All right, so for this one, it looks like Stroud or Fields. Oh, you guys know my feelings. Give me Justin Fields on this one. Arizona's defense is going to get eaten up. Cleveland has a much better defense than Arizona, so give me Justin Fields. Brendan.
I would agree. As much as I think CJ will either be MVP or runner-up MVP, I would say Fields in this just because of the matchup.
Scott.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I know that Arizona defense, and I'd have to go with Fields.
And Matt, you gonna complete the sweep with Muzzle or Justin Fields? Where's my jersey? I can put it on.
I sure as heck am going to complete the sweep. I'm going to take Justin Fields in this game against Arizona. Arizona's defense, we've talked about it, is about as trashy as their uniforms are. And
Worst
Cleveland does
uniform.
have a good defense, especially if Graham Otto has anything to do with it.
Yeah, if Otto Graham comes in, you know they're gonna win. So, will the ghost of Otto Graham make his appearance again? Probably not. Actually, where did he go? That might be a no-go. All right, start
He's
one.
down for the count.
Yeah, so start one running back. We'll start there. We have Connor, Ford at Houston, Singletary at Cleveland, Ayuk, or no. So just out of those three, Connor, Ford, or Singletary. Give me Singletary, I think, out of those ones. So this is tougher for sure, Brendan.
I think I'm going to say James Conner. I benched him because he was going against the 49ers defense, and he still put up 18 points on my bench. Luckily, I won, so I'm not like kicking myself, but James Conner definitely is going to be back in my starting lineup in our conference championship. I think Singletary is the best option for your flex, though, because that Cleveland defensive line is such a fast and aggressive line that CJ is probably going to be dumping it off a lot to Singletary. So I think Singletary for your flex and Connor for your starting running back.
Scott, running back.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would definitely go with James Conner. And I put Singletary in a flex in the previous discussion, so I keep him in flex for this one as well.
Matt?
Yeah, if that's the choices, I'm thinking your best bet is Connor, for the reasons already stated. But this is a little bit of a tough one, but Connor would be the guy.
So let's see, 2 wide receivers. We have Ayuk, Waddle, or Reed. As I think we said before, give me Ayuk, give me Waddle. Brendan.
I agree. I think they're the best 2 of the 3 receivers. I know Reed has the better matchup, but especially if Tyreek Hill's back, Waddle is probably that better option in against Dallas because I don't see Dallas secondary be able to cover both of those 2 receivers in that offense.
It's because Tyreek is the modern GOAT. We know this. Why have him? Scott, which wide receivers you taking out of those 3?
Actually, out of this, I'm going to take Waddle and Reed for a lot of the things that we've previously said. I would go with Waddle over Ayuk and still stick with Reed. Waddle and Reed for me.
Matt.
I'm going to throw everyone off on this one, and I'm going to go Ayuk and Reed. Waddle I would take with my flex. Just, I don't know, Reed's got that better matchup. Like we said, Carolina's defense has not been there at all this year. Dallas does have a pretty good defense, especially against the passing game, and if Hill is in it or not in it, he'll be more likely to be double coverage. So that's why I would put him in my flex.
Yeah, give me Reed in the flex. That'd be my flex. So 1 tight end, you got, let's see, Kraft at Carolina, Kmet at Arizona, or Henry at Denver. Give me Cole Kmet. Brendan.
I agree. I think he's the better of the tight ends of the list, and has the better. Well, I don't know about better of the matchups, but
Yeah, but I would definitely go with Komet. For the out of these choices, I'd go with Komet.
All right, Matt, you gonna run it home? 4-0?
Yep. Cole Komet. Because if Fields is going to have a great day, Komet's going to be one of his guys he goes to frequently in the air. So, yes, Komet is going to put you over the top in the tight end position.
All right, so the defense is a little bit different. I know we picked Denver in the last one. They're here again. But the other option is Buffalo against the Chargers. Give me Buffalo in that one. I think the Chargers look like garbage. Hot garbage. Give me Buffalo in their defense. Brendan.
I agree. I think the Bills have a better defense than the Broncos.
Scott.
Yeah, I agree. I'd go with Bills too.
Matt. Are you going to sweep it again, or are you going to go with the cheaters?
No, are you kidding me? I'm not picking them twice in one night. Give me the Bills here. I agree. There's not a bigger hot pile of dung than the Chargers and Russell Wilson, what he did in his bathroom, But give me the Bills. They're going to just dominate the Chargers. It's over.
Nah.
All right. Well, hey, we got some more picking in. Hopefully, you guys do well. All of us have been in championship games. All of us, Scott's won. Matt's got 2. Brendan is trying to get to 4. I'm trying to get to 7. So let's do this.
I thought he was referring to being the number 4 seed. I thought he was like turning himself on to coming in 4th this year.
Hey, as long as you don't come in last, because what happens if you come in last, Matt?
Dude, I saw it. There's like a new spandex coming out that says, last place and loser on the back. It's like, I ain't wearing that crap. Glad I'm not one of the bottom teams. Looks like that's going to be battled out between 2 other teams. I'm in that top bracket part where, I think the worst I can come is 5th or 6th place.
Yeah. At this point, the worst I can come is 4th, I think. So I should be okay. I'm hoping to get back there. My team, I guess let's look at fantasy real quick. So the matchup this week on side A, Dark Horse versus Rams.
Dude, Bob, that cutout in the background of Peyton Manning, his forehead is so big there is a shine reflecting off of a cutout. That was just crazy, dude. Like, I'm blinded by the shine coming off of his head on a cutout.
Yeah, so far the starting lineups for the Rams is quarterback Justin Fields, running back Alvin Kamara and Kyren Williams, wide receiver Devontae Adams, and the GOAT Tyreek Hill, tight end Cole Kmet, wide receiver A.J. Brown, kicker Tyler Bass, and I'm playing I'm going to put the Seahawks, and I don't know why it has the Patriots. Screw that. So let's see. Dark Horse Blake has Tua at quarterback, halfbacks Pollard and Chandler from Minnesota. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver. Jordan Addison, wide receiver. Dalton Schultz, tight end. Hubbard from Carolina. I can't talk tonight. Sly at kicker and Texas defense. So it should be high scoring. Hopefully I can pick up the loss earlier in the year. I know he's already talking smack, so I gotta not lose. On the other side, on side B, we're down to Montana Outlaws and California Sun Hitters. Looks like for the Outlaws, we got quarterback Jalen Hurts, running back James Conner, running back Najee Harris, wide receiver Justin Jefferson, wide receiver Devontae Smith, tight end Evan Ingram, wide receiver Calvin Ridley, kicker Jake Elliott, and the Eagles defense. And then Mark has quarterback Patrick Mahomes, running back Raheem Mostert, running back James Cook, wide receiver Deebo Samuel. He has Michael Pittman in at wide receiver right now, but we'll see if he plays. Fryermuth at tight end, Mr. Swift himself running back as the flex, Moody at kicker, and the Bills defense. So it should be pretty good matchup there. Going back to our defensive, Eli was the better of the Mannings. I mean, he did beat Brady more in the big games. So if you can,
I think he beat him twice in the Super Bowl.
Man, the one year I was so hoping, go Patriots, go undefeated, just so we don't have to hear about this.
Listen to the damn Dolphins anymore.
So, Matt, going back to the Broncos defense, and the whole reason I turned off my holiday-themed background, because I wanted to show some snapshots. Look at this, leading with the helmet. Not even Kareem Jackson. He lowers himself. Here's another one. He didn't try to go low. He went straight for two of them for the head.
Yep.
Ever since I watched that documentary, I've been watching, and then the big controversy, because I know Bronco fans and some media people were very upset about the call, even though the Eagles took it much more with grace. It's the same call. But to get down there, they called a pass interference on the Lions, when here you can see Mims clearly holding on to the Lions defender. So, I don't know. Matt, Countergate 2.0, you've been kind of leading the charge. How do you feel?
It is totally the way it looks, man. They are the team that they are. They play it dirty, and it's mainly Sean Payton, the way he teaches football and the tackling and everything like that. I would be concerned for anyone going up against the Broncos for your safety, because they're aiming for your head. You know, they've hit multiple quarterbacks in the head, multiple wide receivers in the head. It's just not the game that we play anymore.
Well, to quote Denny Green, right? They are who we thought they were.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Man. I that was
And
such
as he got like passion too, he are who, damn it, we thought they were. Like,
we let him off the hook.
man, I love that guy so much. I miss him in Minnesota.
R.I.P. Yeah. No, man, I remember watching that game, and our team needed some like fire that year. And I was like, man, if the Bears can win a game with no offense, their offense can't do crap. Their defense and their special teams score all their points. Look what we can do, you know. Oh man, such a special team that Bears. Brennan, do you have anything to say about the Sean Payton? He's blowing up on his quarterback in public, and you know a lot of people say, it means nothing. If you're blowing up on your quarterback in public, what are you doing in private, right?
I don't know.
It's none of the media's business what he's saying.
Well, then don't say it.
Well, it is when it's in public.
Yeah, don't.
When
Yeah,
you're
if you
blowing
don't
up your team, I don't know. That I feel like that team is. They didn't just sink. They, jumped head first with a water-powered jetpack to propel them straight to the bottom, and they are very hard to. I would be okay with that.
I will say
that's just San Antonio deserves a better team than the Broncos. I would hope for a better organization and better leadership than the Broncos in San Antonio. I would hope for a San Antonio team, but I would not want the Broncos to move there unless you're getting rid of everybody and starting over.
Right? No, for sure. Being here in Denver, you don't want these Broncos. I mean, shoot, they gave up 70 points against the Dolphins. It wasn't pretty.
Well, and I just want to say it this way. Everyone's like, oh, Sean Payton can do that. Man, if Belichick had been yelling like that at Brady, the media would have been like, why can't we know? Blah, blah, blah. So no double standards here. You're going to yell at the coach or yell at the quarterback on the sidelines in public. You better talk about it. If not, hold your emotions together and don't do it.
Well, somebody close to the call said what I guess the big deal was Peyton was going to challenge the previous call because it definitely looked like a touchdown from
Russell snapped the ball too quick.
Yeah, Russell ran up to the line too fast and hiked it, but then is that not on you as a coach then? Go ahead and throw your flag before your quarterback hikes the ball. I mean, I don't know, but that's what they're saying. It could have stemmed from that, but again, yeah, there's a place to do it, and
Hey, the Denver media is already roasting Sean Payton. They've taken Russell Wilson's side. They have said now Sean Payton has given up on the team. That was an exact headline, and this is just asinine for me to read. It's so fair weather. But let's get to picks, and in a kind of a fun, non-sports related news, Oklahoma City just proposed the tallest building by roof in Oklahoma City. It would be over 1,000 feet taller than their current tallest,
Holy no.
which we have been in. It would be the current roof tallest, which is Central Park Tower in New York, 1,550 feet,
No,
and the Sears Tower in Chicago, 1,451. That's right. World Trade Center cheats with its spire, its antenna. It's actually not 1,776 feet tall. But I will show you because it is crazy. Just knowing how out of place the Devon Energy Center looks, I can't imagine a tower 1,000 feet taller.
I don't know.
Right across from the sports stadium that I flipped off because they stole the Supersonics.
There's a sports team in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, look at that. It's just like there's nothing
That's
around.
cute.
wow,
Oh,
everything around it looks so small.
yeah, it does.
See that smallish looking building is over 100 feet taller than anything in Denver.
Yeah.
And we actually ate at the top of it. There's a restaurant called Vast. It's actually really good. It was $20. It was all you can eat, but we did not do the all you can eat option because we still had to drive to Dallas. But it was good. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going back. So hey, who knows? Maybe 2024 you will see us back in OKC because I wouldn't mind that. Let's get to. I love this group. Stay strong, boys. Thanks for the feedback. Maybe we can go after
The Commanders or Jaguars.
Commanders or Jaguars. Uh-huh.
Yeah, potentials. I mean, I know both teams. I don't think the Commanders really want to move out as opposed to getting a new stadium, but I know Jacksonville is. Or the Jaguars are done in Jacksonville. I mean, it just seems like the owner hates it there. They want to move the team to London, where I think the best bet would be. But
yeah, they have two options for Jaguars, and it's both because of where the Cons have connections with. One is London, and two is Chicago. So could Chicago have two teams again for the first time in who knows how long since the Cardinals and the Staley/Bears, right? And another big news, the Bears seem to maybe be pulling out of Arlington Heights due to some feedback from the homeowners and are now looking at the parking lot as where they are going to build the next stadium for the Chicago Bears. That was news out of the architectural forums this week, so they're usually pretty on key. Brendan, where do you think if Jaguars move, where would they move? St. Louis? Actually, I used to say Las Vegas, but they already have a team.
I would be okay with St. Louis or San Antonio, like we were just talking. I don't know, because I can't really think of anywhere that I'm surprised they don't have a football team yet. But the Commanders, why don't we just move them along with the rest of Washington, D.C.'s team and just ship them off to Virginia?
no, I was going to say, it sounds like everyone's pulling out of Washington, D.C. pretty darn quick.
Yeah, Capitals and the Wizards are both out of there. So how far away from D.C.? I don't know. I didn't read where they're moving to in Virginia. I don't know if they're getting renamed. I think Washington Capitals is weird when you play in Virginia, but
but so do the Jets and the Giants. We know this because we've been to the Meadowlands.
I mean, I guess that's true. Like I said, it depends on how far away you're moving, I guess. If you're moving to Richmond, Virginia, I don't think you keep the names, but if you're just moving on the other side of the border, then
they're moving all the way to West Virginia. They didn't specify which Virginia. Scott Speaking of relocation and teams, what are the Coyotes doing?
Hopefully, they'll find a place to actually build a stadium. They want to keep it around. They want to keep it talking now in the East Valley, around Mesa area, Mesa, Tempe, Scottsdale area, around on the East Valley. Uh, there's the Scottsdale area has got a lot of big money. I know that there's a whole lot of retired hockey players that live in Scottsdale. In fact, the NHL Alumni Foundation has their regular golf tournament in Mesa. Um, my sled hockey team, we have a booth set up. Talked to a whole lot of former hockey players. They're living there in Scottsdale. I will, if I can call it up fast enough, I can. Well, it'll try to take me a little bit of time to show the picture I'm talking about. But it would be great to be kind of in the northern Mesa, southern Scottsdale area. That would be great. That'd be a great place for a stadium for the Coyotes.
Yeah, no, Scottsdale would be fun. We actually talked to a magician that lives out there, and we were talking about all that area because I remember us visiting Prescott and Scottsdale and all that. Where's that one? It's Church of the Holy Rock, right? Where it's like built into the.
Here we go. There's me with good old Jim McMahon at the golf tournament. This was a couple years ago. This past golf tournament, I sat Jim and I sat 2 people apart on our dinner table. Great guest, great guy.
Scott, I have a question about the Coyotes. Because when I lived in Arizona, they played in Glendale. Why'd they move away?
For some reason, the Glendale City Council didn't like them at all. So there's a whole lot of contract issues, especially with the city leaders and stuff like that. Not really sure why. They played at the Gila Bend Arena down there. They had a whole lot of nice bars around the area. Every time I went to the game, the whole area was just jumping with a whole lot of activity.
Yeah, you couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, not really sure why the Glendale city leadership didn't like them.
Because didn't they share the same parking lot as the Cardinals' new stadium?
Pretty close. Yeah, really close. So, yeah, I mean, really. And even though the Glendale, I mean, it's on the complete opposite side of the city from where the majority of the people are, because of the routes, because of State Farm Stadium, really getting to Gila Bend Arena wasn't really that bad. Much better than kind of what it is now, where they are now in the arena they're sharing with ASU, which I've been to a number of times also. So, like I said, it would be great if they could find some land kind of in that middle range between Scottsdale, southern Scottsdale, and northern Mesa. That'd be awesome.
Are they going to be able to keep the attendance? So are they going to try to build a small? I mean, obviously they're going to build a smaller arena, but what do you think the tops would be attendance wise?
Oh, I think they could probably easily pull in. They could probably regularly pull in between, I'd say 17 and 20,000. I would say. Obviously, they got if they happen to get a team going, they got a whole lot of young blood on this team. Get a couple more, couple of final pieces. I think we could eventually have something. Of course, right now they're playing in a 5,000 seat Mullet Arena with ASU's hockey team. I think if we had a good season this year, it'll be very easy to get places wanting to build a stadium really quick.
Scott, have you ever gone down to Tucson and watched any of the Pecos League baseball down there?
No, I haven't gone all the way down to Tucson to watch any of that into that area.
I was gonna say we've been watching them. We actually, ever since we went to Roswell, the Invaders play there, and we've seen like the Alpine Cowboys and Garden City Wind. We've tried to go see the Trinidad Triggers. We've seen them once, I guess, against the Sky Sox, but Castle Rock voted no for the stadium, so now the Sky Sox do not exist. So it was a sad day for us because we were like, man, we need just like one of those. I love like just those little minor league games. Like it's so much fun. I enjoy it. Well, let's get to picks. Thursday nights, New Orleans Saints, Rams. Bobby, who you got? What'd you say, Bob?
I got Rams. I need my quarterback to do well. I need Stafford to do well.
Man.
Oh man, this could be the coin flip game of the week already, and it's the first game. I think I'm going to lean towards the Saints in this one. I think they're going to kind of keep rolling with what they've got. Not just the Rams. I don't know. I'm not impressed with them this season.
Scott?
Yeah, I kind of agree, but I think I'm going to go with the Rams. Rams on this. We've already talked about Cup and Cup being a good wanted receiver on some of our past picks. I think Stafford's Stafford's a little bit more, a little bit better, a little more consistent. I'm going to go with Rams.
Brendan?
I think the Rams. I think they're both playing like 500 teams. Thank you. They're both hit and miss offenses. They can score a lot, but are they going to is the question. I think LA is at home, so I think that gives them the edge a little bit. I think LA likes the Rams more than obviously they like the Chargers. So it'll actually be a home game for the Rams. So, yeah.
Yeah, and give me the Rams as well. I know they're both fighting for playoff contention, but the Rams always just seem to have a way about pulling off a victory. They've all been kind of close, or they've been in games they shouldn't be. So give me the Rams in Thursday night. Brings us to Saturday. We do have only 2 games this time, not 3. Once again, the Bengals playing on a Saturday. Maybe they're just going to play Saturdays now that Louisville's not playing yet. So we got Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Bobby, who you got?
I got the Steelers. Me and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh is just their offense is just too good. I mean, just if the Pittsburgh is playing at home, I'd take Pittsburgh.
Okay, Matt.
Give me Cincinnati in this one. Browning has been a highlight right now. I mean, you lose your star quarterback in Burrow, who's a tremendous quarterback, and you write your season off. It's like, well, shoot, there goes our year, and then Browning comes in and yes, had a kind of a rough first week at it, but who doesn't get thrown into it and expect to succeed? But what he's been able to do and keep the the team going has been pretty good. You just hope that the wide receiver core is healthy for the Bengals. I know they were a little beat up there on Saturday, but I see Cincinnati being able to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one.
Scott?
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with Cincinnati, really for the same reasons that Matt did. Matt said.
Brendan?
The Steelers definitely pulled a what is it? Trick me once, fool on me, trick me twice, or whatever that saying is. They're 1-3 since firing Matt Canada, and they've only had one good game offensively. I cannot, and they're now down to their third quarterback. They benched Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph will start this week against the Bengals team, who's coming in, still fighting for a playoff spot. I mean, I know that they have the better record, but there's still 5 teams right there at 6 teams right there at 8-6 or 7-7, and
Yes.
with 3 games left, there's a lot of things that can go on in AFC. So I'm going to say the Bengals because I can't trust the Steelers' offense worth a damn.
Yeah, and if you are in Louisville this week, I hope you guys are wearing your fuzzy Bengal boots. I saw lots of them when I was in Louisville. Give me the Bengals. Yeah, Pittsburgh has been looking terrible. They're down another quarterback. I don't know what's going on. I mean, obviously, you're not going to fire Tomlin, but I think some big changes are coming this offseason. I think Pittsburgh misses the playoffs, and I think Cincinnati at least keeps their playoff alive, and I need Chase to give me some points if I put him in. I know I didn't say he was starting yet, but
could be his first losing season ever, though. So 1 losing season in 20 years of
and he's out.
There
And
you
he's
go.
out. Kick him out. No, don't kick him out.
Crazy.
Yeah, don't kick him out. Buffalo Chargers. I gotta go check on something real quick. So give me Buffalo by 40. Bobby.
God. Buffalo by 45
45, huh?
at least.
Oh boy, that would be a big blowout there.
Do I hear 50? Do I hear 50? It's 40. That's
All right, anyone?
50.
All right, Scott, where are you with this game here?
Yeah, I'm going the Bills easily. I'm not necessarily going to say 40 or 45 or 50, but I'm definitely going with the Bills on this one.
Perfect. All right, Brendan, where are you with this one?
It's an away game, right, for the Chargers? Because every
Yes.
game is an away game.
Right,
Chargers in.
exactly.
That is interesting. Both LA teams play at home this week.
Yeah, we got 2 days apart.
I'm going to choose the Bills. I think the Bills are they found a groove, and hopefully they'll be able to continue their offensive woes for a little bit. And yeah, the Chargers are just falling apart. You're a bad organization when you ask 2 or 3 of your coordinators to be the interim head coach and they all turn you down. So I don't even know who the coach is.
I think it was like their offensive line coach or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
but no, I was a little shocked too. Like, they're not going with Moore there. I mean, I thought that's why he was there.
I know that 2 of them turned it down. So
He was probably Kellen Moore being
I think
one
the
of them.
Chargers are too much of a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go in that same boat. I think the Chargers don't stand a chance. The Bills Mafia is gonna take over the LA Stadium, SoFi Field. It's gonna be loud and crazy for the boys in blue. I think Bills take care of business, and I think it's gonna be a substantial score. I don't know if I'll go as high as 40, 45 either, but I think it's gonna be a substantial blowout.
All right, where are we
All
at?
right. We are on our first Sunday game, Keegan. We're just about ready to get into it if you want to start it off.
Commanders Jets. Who's playing? Is it Simeon's playing for the Jets this week? Give me the
Sure.
Commanders. Yeah, I'll take Washington in this one. I don't know who's playing quarterback. I know we've had a lot of injuries with there, and they look terrible. They got blown out 30-0. At least the Commanders, as bad as they've been, have shown some fight. So give me Washington, Bobby.
Give me Washington also. The Jets want to know who they're playing at quarterback, so
Trevor Simeon, the Broncos' last winning
yeah. So give me Washington
winning quarterback.
by 35.
By 35.
Yeah.
Matt.
Give me these New York Jets, man. Aaron Rodgers is going to come. Like, it's going to be a surprise. They're just going to bring him in. You know, they're going to wheel him out in a wheelchair, and he's going to do a jumping jack, flip, touchdown. That's the only thing that would save the Jets right now is if Rodgers seriously played in this game, and he's not going to. I think, I know they want to keep the fans all excited for these next 3 weeks, but I don't think you're going to see him come back and risk any further injury. He's done for the season. Hang it up, get better, be back next year. But I think the Commanders take down these Jets. It's time to, what do you call it, when the FA shuts the planes down? It's going to be a no-fly zone in New York.
Yeah, no fly
All
zone.
grounded. Everything's grounded.
Yep.
Scott, what about you?
Oh, well, I'm going to pick the Commanders, but there's no really decent reason I'm going to really care about watching the game. I'm just going to wait for the score, but I'm just going to take the Commanders since you asked me to pick one.
Brendan.
I'm going to say the Commanders. I don't think the Jets have much going for them. But I could be very wrong. We never know. I feel bad for the Jets head coach, though. I was really hoping he was going to turn that team around, and he does not seem to be doing anything. And I don't know if it's him or if it's the offense or his coordinators. I don't know. But yeah, I think the Commanders will win. So yeah.
Yeah, and then we have the Detroit Lions going to Minnesota. Matt, we'll start with you. You are a Minnesota Viking insider. How are you feeling with this one?
Not good. Not good at all. But, we've got to, as much as I told you I don't want it, I want to see our boys represent us in the playoffs. But, Detroit's just been so damn good this year. And yes, they're a divisional opponent, but they've been so bad for so long that you always just kind of like, you want to see the competition back in the division, and it was until the Bears laid an egg. But, the North is looking good finally again. But I hate to say it, but I think Detroit's going to win it. My heart wants the Vikings to win. But if I had to pick, and this was for, all the money on the line or whatever, the Lions would win this game.
Bobby.
I got to go Detroit too. Detroit's got a hell of an offense. What I saw, they got a hell of an offense. They move the ball. Their defense does too. They got big players.
Scott.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with with everybody. I think Lions have the better offense right now with Goff and Laporta and Gibbs is running like crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Lions on this one.
Brendan.
I think it's crazy that if everything stands, this matchup will happen 3 times in 4 weeks. And if Kirk Cousins was the quarterback of the Vikings, I could say the Vikings would win, but he's not. I don't know if I can trust Nick Mullins. So I do think Detroit will win.
Yeah, give me Detroit as well. I think it'll be close. I don't think it's going to be a repeat for Detroit of last Saturday against Denver. I think Minnesota's going to play them a lot closer. I think if it comes down to being a shootout, which I think it will be, I trust Detroit's offense a little bit more. So give me Motor City, Dan Campbell, and the Lions to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Here's another one. We have Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns heading down to Houston to take on the Texans. Maybe Stroud plays, maybe he doesn't. Bobby, who you taking?
Let's see if Stroud plays Houston. If he doesn't, I'm going Cleveland. After what I see when Joe Flacco did last weekend, I'm going Cleveland.
And then Matt?
Dude, Houston's running the high right now, man. Even with Stroud being out, they were able to get their business taken care of. And how good does it feel that you were down in a game that everyone was like, all right, well, you've lost, you got written off, and you come from behind to win it. They're always riding a high on that. And if Stroud plays, I think that helps even more. Houston knows what's at stake, and I think they're going to take care of business because they want to win their division this year. So I think Houston takes care of it and wins this game.
Scott?
Yeah, I'm taking Houston at home. Even if Stroud doesn't play, I'll still take the Texans at home.
Brendan?
This is a really hard one. I mean, I want to say the Texans. They're going to have so much fight on their hands. Their head coach is going to want to prove something. You know, them going from 3-13-1 last year to you're half a game out of first place in your division. Like you're fighting with the Colts and the Jaguars, and everyone thought that the Jaguars were going to run away with this division this year. And here you are sitting 3 weeks out of the year, or 3 weeks at the end of the year, with a fight for first place. This is going to be really a tough test, and I'm going to take the Texans just because I think they'll have more fight than the Cleveland Browns will, and they're at home.
Well, see, we have a special guest on the screen. It's the ghost of Autogram.
I thought you were talking about the cute puppy behind Brendan.
Say goodbye to the cute puppy. Tonight's
Bye,
our last
cute
year.
puppy.
Yeah, no, Ghost of Autogram shows up. Last time he showed up, I think we were in that future Chicago Dome. And look what happened. Suddenly, magically, the Bears are going to build a stadium back in Chicago. I think this means only one thing. The Browns are going to win. I honestly, I do think Joe Flacco is playing really well. We've seen what he can do if you get him into the playoffs, and that defense is really, really good. So not knowing the health of C.J. Stroud, knowing some of their defensive stars are banged up and questionable, and two of their top 3 receivers aren't going to play, give me Cleveland in this matchup. Let's see. Green Bay versus the hapless Carolina Panthers, Bob.
Oh God, I can't. Not Carolina. I'll go Carolina.
Why do you think that? Because that's a big upset.
Yeah.
Matt, we'll just go to you, I guess.
Oh, I was waiting for Bob to answer the question. Green Bay is on fire right now. Well, they're not on fire. They lost last week, but they know that they have a playoff
They might be on
spot
fire, but not in the good way.
at stake. When you look at Carolina last week with the miserable attendance, I mean, I think for the first time in NFL history, at least in the modern era, you could buy a ticket for under $1, and they still couldn't sell the stadium out. Carolina's in a tough spot, and they don't look good, and I don't think they're confident in their quarterback choice. They're not confident in their head coach. I mean, they've already fired him. We're on an interim one. They are a dumpster fire right now, and I think Green Bay takes advantage of that. And like I said, they're playing for their playoff life, unlike Carolina, who's playing for Chicago Bears first-round draft pick. Who's that going to be? Green Bay is going to take care of it and get the W.
Scott.
Yeah, he going to got to go to Green Bay. Not really sure about Panthers are just kind of running out the clock, so I'll take Green Bay.
Brendan.
Yeah, I can't choose Carolina. I don't know how they've won the 2 games they have won. It's seriously that's bad. Yeah, I'll say Love and the Packers find a way to go back and recollect themselves, and they'll get a victory. Definitely not CMC.
I don't know. Scott, as a resident CMC owner, would you start CMC?
I start CMC. I would start CMC even if he's on bye. That's how good he is. I would still go CMC. Always go CMC.
I'd start with the one with the sunglasses, not the other one.
Oh yeah, he's rocking the cool sunglasses. Throw him up. Where were we? We were at me about to be making a bold claim, which I've been known to do for no absolute reason other than I like to tank my picks. So while Green Bay has shown highlights of being able to win, they've also shown highlights of being some of the worst playing team. I mean, that game against Denver, not very, very good. And I think Carolina has a little bit of fight, just something to prove, and maybe trying to give New England that number 1 pick so they didn't give up the number 1 pick for nothing. So give me Carolina in this one. I just think Green Bay is so hot and cold, I can't trust them.
Thank you for explaining your pick, though. We appreciate when you explained it.
Yeah. Single-handedly won first round of the playoffs, 14 league, super clutch. Yeah, CMC is definitely super clutch. I think if anyone single-handedly won a game in ours, it was probably Moss. What'd you say, Matt?
Yeah, for sure.
TJ won me a game earlier this season.
Oh yeah, quite literally, TJ actually won the game by himself.
Yeah, TJ scored 35 and my opponent scored 29. Oh.
All right.
Yes, they would have to lose out, but I don't think Carolina loses out actually. So that brings us to Seattle, Tennessee, Bobby.
I'm going Seattle. Drew Lock.
We don't know if Drew Lock's playing, but I will say, if anything, I'm glad we have Drew Lock and not Russell Wilson. Matt?
I'm sure a lot of teams are thankful they don't have Russell Wilson.
Like the Eagles.
Right? This is going to be a good matchup. I think Tennessee is one of those teams that has been just like a defibrillator type machine. Up, down. It's your heartbeat, Are they going to be an up team this week, or are they going to be a down team this week? How are they going to play? They're at home, which will always help. Yeah, 3 touchdowns.
Well, he's the only one on the offense, so I don't know who else they're going to throw to. So,
right.
Seattle will win 28-21.
Yeah, big thing is Will Levis is hurt.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Seattle's going to win this one. Tennessee, like I said, just too hot and cold for me. I'm going to go with the team that has a better record, at least. Seattle wins.
Scott?
Yeah, I agree completely. Same thing. Same reason, Seattle.
And then Brendan.
I agree. I think Seattle will win. I don't see Tennessee doing much. And that was when I thought Will Levis was going to be the when I thought Will Levis was going to be the quarterback. So, I mean,
Yeah, you guys know where I'm going with this one. Give me Seattle. No matter who plays, Geno Smith, Drew Lock, I feel so comfortable with either of them playing good football, being actual human beings out there on the field, caring for their teammates. We've seen both, quarterbacks get rallied around by the teammates, and I think right now they have to obviously win out to make the playoffs. So, give me Seattle. Let's see, Colts and Atlanta, Bobby.
I'll take Indianapolis in this one.
Sorry for hijacking your group chat. No worries. No worries at all. We like some communication. Right, Matt?
Absolutely. We love the camaraderie here.
Yeah.
Well, who you taking? Indianapolis or those terrible Atlanta Falcons?
Dude, I don't know how I can pick a team that played in one of the, just every week. It's like, can a team get more boring than the last one that we watched? I mean,
Hey, at least they scored points.
right. Well, dude, it still goes back to the Vikings have played 2 games this lousy this year. That one with the one against the Bears, and then the one the other day with the Raiders. And then you get the Falcons last week turning in a snooze fest game with the Panthers.
the Colts and the Patriots have had a few snooze fests too.
Yeah, no, for sure. But the Colts right now can score points, and I think they're going to score more points than Atlanta. So I'm taking Colts in this one.
Scott?
Yeah, I'm gonna take my Colts on this one. Actually, I'm kind of thinking it might be one of the better games, start to finish, that we'll have. Looking at all the other games, I think this might be one of the better games out of all of them. But I'll definitely take the Colts on this.
Brendan?
I'll agree with Scott. I do think that this will be one of the better games, and it's merely for the fact that Atlanta is at home. Because for whatever reason, they always seem to play better at home. They'll score points. They'll put points on the board when they're at home. They can't do anything on the road. But with that being said, I do think that the Colts, even though they thought their season was over when Gardner had to come in and be their backup, I do think that he'll lead them to a victory. And it's kind of the same as the Texans. They realize what is on the line right now. To get first place in your division with a backup quarterback is pretty good. And it kind of shows a lot to what the Eagles used to have as their offensive coordinator. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, give me Indianapolis as well. I mean, I don't know how anyone can pick Atlanta after last week's game. Just not looking good. Moss is probably gonna have a good game, so no worries there.
Maybe.
Right. Well, we'll see. I gotta go see what's going on. Give me 1 second. But you guys talk about Jacksonville and Tampa Bay.
Bob, how do you feel about Jacksonville and Tampa Bay?
What's his face is in protocol now, so I won't take Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville's going to get beat.
Matt?
This one, I think, has the potential of being a good matchup. You get the Battle of Florida going on. Give me Tampa Bay. I like the way they played the last few games better than Jacksonville. Jacksonville's over the last 5 weeks has really struggled to put up some good offense. So Tampa Bay is winning this one.
Scott.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Hopefully they'll keep running as playing as well as they did this past week, and keep it going. I know Jacksonville will be kind of scratching and clawing for one of those lower playoff seeds. So in that case, that's going to make it a nice game. But I'll go with Tampa.
Brandon.
I would agree. Recently, I've been seeing more fire and more drive to wanting to win and everything out of Tampa. I think after the Jags-Baltimore game, they showed like 4 different instances where Jacksonville should have come away with points, and they came up with nothing. So, yep, I think Bucks have a bigger fire.
Yeah, give me Tampa Bay as well. I don't know. Jacksonville, I honestly I think Jacksonville can win it, but there's something about that Tampa Bay team, how Baker can play. And honestly, I think it'd be hilarious if the Browns make the playoffs without Deshaun Watson, with Joe Flacco, and Baker Mayfield also makes the playoffs. So what did you trade for? Let's see. What is our next game? Ooh, Dolphins Cowboys. Brendan walked away, so we can't ask him hot mic right now. Bobby, who are you taking?
Miami. Miami's going to go all over Dallas.
Matt.
This right here is going to be the game of the week. Not just because you got America's team and the Cowboys playing in this one. Brennan loves him some Cowboys. The team, not Cowboys,
Maybe some Wyoming Cowboys.
Yeah, there you go. Get some Wyoming Cowboys, or get yourself a Mark Traylor Cowboy.
Yeah, shout out Mark Traylor and the Alpine Cowboys.
Yep, dude. This one is gonna be hard. I mean, Cowboys laid an egg last week. They looked atrocious. But I think there's some fight in them, and they're gonna want to come out to prove that they're not a bad football team, and there's still a lot to play for their stake. They still have a potential shot at the division, but the Eagles have to lose again. So I think the Cowboys are going to ride on it, and they're going to win and beat Miami.
Scott?
No, I'm going with the Dolphins at home. I think the fish will be jumping up and doing flips and belly flops all over the Cowboys on this one. Go for Miami.
Brendan?
I think you'll be the Dolphins at home, especially if Tyreek does come and play. People were calling this the Fraud Bowl. Who's a bigger fraud, Dolphins or Cowboys? So we'll find out. I agree that I do think it's going to be a good game, but yeah, I choose Dolphins.
Yeah, and I'm choosing Miami. We all know they got the modern GOAT on their team, Tyreek Hill. I hope he plays, obviously, for fantasy football reasons. But even if they didn't, Dallas, I think, kind of got exposed in that game. They've got exposed a few times this year. And I think Miami is going to win. It'll be close. It's not going to be a 70-20 game. Don't worry, Dallas fans. But it'll probably be something more like 35-24 or something like that, is my guess. But Miami, I think they'll pull it off, finally win against a high-powered team. Ooh, where are we going at? Arizona or Chi-Town, the Bears? Bobby, who you taking?
Who's Arizona? Chicago? I'm going the Bears. Bears by touchdown. This one.
And then Matt.
Oh, this could be the snooze fest of the week here with these two games. Maybe this one is our 3-0 game. No, I don't think so. I think Justin Fields is going to have a good day, throwing some touchdowns up and down the field. Give me the Bears over the Cardinals.
Scott, hey, two teams you are very intimately knowledgeable about. So, who are you taking, Arizona and Murray, or Chicago and Justin Fields?
Yeah, two quarterbacks that I really kind of don't care a lot about. But at the same time, I know exactly what the Arizona defense is, and so I'm going with the Bears by I'm going to give that at least 2 touchdowns.
And Brendan.
James Conner's going to run all over him for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the Bears are still going to win 28-14. So, it doesn't matter. I do think the Bears are going to win, but I hope James Conner does have a good game because he is my starting running back.
I was going to say there might be some fantasy football biases coming out because I seem to know another team that has a quarterback and tight end that will probably be starting for them. He's playing for Chicago. But yeah, I still have a lot of faith in Justin Fields. I think if they can give him a steady play caller, he's had a couple different ones, some more weapons. He really only has more in Kmet. But right now, against Arizona, I think it'll be high scoring, something like 30-24. But give me Chicago. I think they pull out the victory there. Ooh, here we go. Most controversial pick. Bobby's about to take his favorite team, the New England Patriots, who play the Denver Broncos. Bobby?
We're going to win that one by, God, I say 2 touchdowns. We've got to win the next 3 games straight to get in. Russell Wilson's going to go for 200 yards throwing.
200 yards thrown. I mean, that would be
average.
Matt. Sammy just does not like that.
Wow, Sammy, dang, man. Oh, Bob. Good thing you were looking down on that one, man. Sammy just crashed the Broncos big time there.
So, Matt, who are you picking the cheaters this week?
Dude, it depends. Again, it comes down to the weather. New England, I think, can play the snow game better than the Broncos. It's going to come down to that. Whether you get the nice weather, the snowy weather, I think New England will play better in that circumstance because they can just handle it better. Because here in the great state of Colorado, we get 360 or 320 days of sunshine, whatever it is. I think New England finds a way and finally extinguishes Denver's playoff chances. Give me the New England Patriots over the Denver Broncos.
I like the Broncos, but new reports keep saying Wilson is a terrible teammate. Yeah, I mean, ever since he left Seattle, it's almost like Seattle was covering for a lot of things there. And somehow that defense helped him win, not the other way around.
Oh, no, it was definitely Russell Wilson that led them to that Super Bowl victory.
Yeah, maybe the Super Bowl loss. Scott?
Yeah, I think with this particular Patriots team, I don't think there's a way the Broncos can lose this game. I'm sure they'll try to figure out a way. They'll try very, very hard to lose it, but I'm still going to think the against this Patriot team, the Broncos are going to win it.
They will find a way. Trust me, the Broncos will find the way to lose it.
Brendan. Are we talking Noah Fant?
I don't know.
I would think
Anyways,
so.
I can't choose the Patriots. It's the healthier team is the Broncos, so they're going to win. But I mean, who is Mac Jones going to throw to? Hunter Henry's his only option.
Yeah.
Juju's out. Bourne's out. Stevenson's out. So you have Elliott and Hunter, and a terrible defense. So yeah.
Ooh, some hot takes there, but Bobby will enjoy it, even though he picked the Patriots this week.
I did not.
I thought you said Patriots by 2.
No.
Just what Spotty Reception said.
Yeah, man, it pains me to say it. In my heart, I hope it's New England, but I think Denver actually wins this one. It's
What?
just hard.
Is somebody twisting your arm here, bro?
It's Russell Wilson. He has kidnapped me.
Would make a great Raiders.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think Denver does win this game. It really hurts me to say that. I think their defense is going to be able to, no matter what the offense does, their defense will at least do something to help them beat the Patriots, unless it's very possible Belichick comes in, scores, gets a victory. You know, he's still trying to get that old-time coaching record for wins, but I think he'll have to wait till he goes to Los Angeles, become a Charger coach. But yeah, unfortunately for me, I have to pick Denver this week. Speaking of a AFC West team, we got 2 on par. Bobby, I know a matchup you're not looking forward to, but it's the Raiders and Chiefs. Now, I know you usually don't pick the Raiders, but are you going to pick them this week because you need the Chiefs to lose so the Broncos can get that one game closer?
What's that? We need to get closer to Kansas City. We need to stay one game back for Kansas City.
So are you taking the Raiders then?
Yes.
All right, Bobby did pick the Raiders. Matt.
Oh man, this is always a good battle when the two teams get together. I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs winning this one. Taylor Swift, with our luck, will hopefully be on an airplane flying to Zimbabwe or somewhere like that. Keep her far away from the stadium. I like her as a person, but I am so sick of seeing her on TV time after time. Every time Kelsey makes a play, oh, let's show Taylor Swift sitting there looking at him like he's my man. Give me a break. But no, I think the Chiefs beat the Raiders here.
Yeah, but Matt, what if it was Taylor Swift on Culz interviews? Would you be okay then?
No.
Well, yeah, it's nothing to do with the sport of football or the game itself. I mean, you go to any game, they show one celebrity, okay, whatever. You don't see Bradley Cooper being put on the screen every 2 minutes when an Eagles game is on. They show him once sitting somewhere in the crowd having a good time, high-fiving people, and that's it. But
do you ever see him at the Detroit Lions game? Because he's season ticket holders and is at every game.
I've seen Eminem once on the TV, and that's when he was singing a halftime show or something.
Right, exactly. And he's at every Lions game.
Dude, I saw pictures from his suite. Looks like he's got a pretty sweet suite.
Right?
Say that 5 times fast, right? Scott, what about you?
Well, I think actually I was listening to the Kelsey's podcast the other week, and Travis was talking about how he really needs to still work on his hands, his catching abilities and stuff like that. So he's been working on that. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs on this one. I'm gonna say that Mr. Travis Swift gets at least 2 touchdowns.
Now, Brendan, this is a stadium that we've gotten very, very close to when it was. Luckily for us, there was an open gate. Do you? The Chiefs? Yeah, Arrowhead. Remember, I was like, "Nah, we're gonna make it work." Fun memories. Uh, who are you taking? Those Chiefs with those nice fans we met in Liberty, Missouri.
I mean, you have to take the Keegan Cool Swifties. I mean, Kansas City Swifties.
Oh, whoa! What are you?
I would hope the Raiders would win just because I think but their offense is so hot and cold like everything else, and I think Patrick Mahomes is finally fed up with his receivers and knows who to target and who doesn't. So I think we're going to start seeing less of Tony and more Rice. Yeah.
I'd be very happy with that. As I have Rice, but I've still got to cheer for him. I'm still in a fantasy positioning game, not in a championship game. But
I'm a Raider hater.
Raider. Oh,
whoa! Bob has chimed into the chat. He is a Raider hater.
Raider hater, baby. So that means you're going with the Chiefs then, or what?
He already picked. We can't no take backs. We have picked. Give me Kansas City as well. I really enjoyed our time in Kansas City outside the lady running into the electrical box on the sidewalk right behind us with a loud bang. It was fun. The Chiefs are also a much better team than the Raiders, who I think are coming off a really big high, scoring 63 points. I don't think that's going to happen again. Give me the Chiefs. Let's see. I think that gives us 2 games left. Oh wait, that's right. Patriots Broncos was Sunday night. I'm all messed up. Raiders Chiefs is one of 3 Monday night games on Christmas.
Yep.
The second of which is another Monday night appearance by Brendan's Philadelphia Eagles. Brendan, you guys play the Giants this week. How do you feel? Who's winning?
Hopefully feel pretty good. The Eagles will. They are playing at home, but it is a divisional game. But I hope that we are able to hash out our offense and recatch our stride. And is New York on their 4th quarterback? Because last time
I thought DeVito was playing.
Is he? Because last I saw him, he was hurt laying on the ground. So.
Oh, dude.
So anyways, I hope the Eagles will win. I believe that they will be able to turn over their team or game or their offense around and win.
Bobby, who you taking? Philadelphia or the Giants?
Philadelphia. Philadelphia's got a hell of a team, offense and defense.
Matt. Matt's left the chat, Scott.
Oh, this is going to be Eagles easy. Eagles easy.
I don't know if you can say easy.
I don't know.
The Eagles can never seem to play a divisional opponent up to par. Something's telling me the Giants, but I think the Eagles do win it. Although, like I said, again, Bradley Cooper will be in attendance. We'll see his beautiful face on Monday Night Football once. But the Eagles win it. I agree with Ted Nasty, though. I would like to be the weird one to say the Giants are going to win, but I can't do it this time around. But I think it's going to be a lot closer of a game than one believes.
Yeah, give me Philadelphia as well. They've been having a rough skid, and I think they deserve a make it right. And at some point, they're gonna have a make it right game, and I think it's gonna be here. Giants have played well at times, but last week, just that performance against New Orleans. I know the Eagles didn't come out and play 100%, but there was a lot of stuff going on last week, and I think Seahawks are better than the Saints. So give me Philadelphia in this one for sure. Give us our final Monday night game. We have three, like I said. This one could be a preview of the Super Bowl and a rematch of a Super Bowl a few years ago. We got Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, going against the San Francisco 49ers, led by CMC, led by Brock Purdy. Bobby, who you taking?
San Francisco. Brock Purdy.
Man.
Jack Elway was one of the best. So what? That's a confusing statement there, Sammy. Yeah, I agree. This could be our potential Super Bowl rematch. I don't know, man. This is going to be another fun one. I mean, back in the day, this was the battle of the Harbaughs. You know, they were both going at it.
Right, it was that first coach sit down with the two of them.
Right. I don't know. I'm just the 49ers are that team right now. They are that team. But so is Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore's been playing some lights out football, but in Santa Clara, 49ers are going to win this game in a very exciting fashion, whether it's, you know, a field goal in overtime or touchdown at the end of the game. It's going to be one of those last play type wins for the 49ers.
Scott?
Yeah. Earlier I mentioned that the Colts Falcons game will be one of the better games of this weekend, but this one, 49ers and Ravens, will be the best game of this weekend, and I'm going with the 49ers. I'm not so sure it's going to be 49ers by 4 touchdowns, but it's going to be a really, really good game. I'm going 49ers.
Brendan?
I'm going to say the 49ers, but I believe that it's going to be because of the trenches. I do not believe in the Ravens offensive line. I think Lamar Jackson makes the magic of that team, and he needs a better offensive line in front of him. There was a couple of plays last week that Jaguars were just able to get right by them and almost sack them. And luckily, Lamar Jackson's able to do Lamar Jackson things and get out of it and make plays. With that being said, I do think that, this is one of those games that are won in the trenches. And as long as Bosa is healthy and playing, I know he got injured a little bit last week. I believe that the 49ers will be able to pull off the victory.
So it might have been because of the ghost of Autogram. But earlier in the year, the Browns were able to beat the 49ers, right? Who plays a very similar
Brandon Ayuk or somebody else.
Yeah, but it's still the Browns with Deshaun Watson, right? And who plays a similar style? Who has a better quarterback? Totally not biased on any front when I'm talking about Lamar Jackson, right? Not only is he my fantasy quarterback, but he also went to Louisville. But give me Baltimore. I think it'll be a really good game. And I think it's going to be probably something along the lines of 34 to 31, by 3. It's going to be super close, right? But I think Lamar pulls off the victory, and the Ravens. You guys are all reading. I can't even get my pick because I can see it's just reading.
Dude, Sammy, that was so long ago too, when John Elway was taken by Baltimore.
John Elway didn't want to play for him.
It was the Colts.
Yeah,
Scott,
Baltimore
can you give us
Colts,
some
man.
insight on the Colts situation with John Elway?
Yeah, no, he doesn't want to be here. Bye bye. See ya.
And as easy
You
as
guys
that,
could have had one of the greatest 40-year-old
Hey,
horse teeth like quarterbacks.
we've had a bunch of 40-year-old horse teeth. You know, we had we had what? We had Rivers, we had
Matt
Ryan,
Ryan, Joe
yeah,
Flacco. I mean,
Flacco.
not Nick
We
Foles.
we got plenty of 40-year-olds. We don't need any. We bring in the young ones and then they blow out their knees. So we'll, that's how we build our chemistry.
I mean, it definitely seemed like that was their way to build quarterbacks for a while. Was it was like I remember listening to Pat McAfee, and he's like, "Yep, another 40-year-old quarterback coming in."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, that ends our picks. Scott, what do you got? Any good plans for the Christmas Day going on?
Got it. You got to be with family. Um, between my family and my wife's family, you got to and being with a couple of the grandkids. Two of my other step grandkids live across the country from me, so I can't really see them this year. But the two that live close will be with them, along with being with my son and his particular friends, and it's going to be everything with family. It's got to be family with Christmas.
Yeah, well, and Merry Christmas from our family to yours, Scott. We definitely we'll get out there at some point, our group, and we'll come hang out. We definitely need to do that.
That'd be awesome.
Brendan, why do you hate the Broncos so much? I don't think that was directed at me. Bobby, you know why I don't like them. It's because the fans try to stab me in the parking lot. Brendan, what do
Damn,
you,
really? I just had beer thrown on me from Bronco fans. You were almost stabbed?
they did not take that Super Bowl lightly.
Wow.
Like it
Oh,
was
they
my
did
fault. I remember I walked into a Buffalo Wild Wings. I've never been booed by an entire building in my life, like I did when I walked in with Seattle again during the Super Bowl. Uh, Brendan, what are you doing for Christmas?
We're going out of town to my girlfriend's family's, which is about an hour and a half away. So, get to spend time with her this year since we spent Christmas with my family last year. You know, so
Bobby, what are you doing?
Going to my mom's house Christmas Eve, then my sister's Christmas date.
And then Matt.
Again, with me, everything is always weather dependent. Because the fan base is nice. Yeah, Sammy, I think Keegan and I both touched on that. Denver has one kind of rough fan base, but at least as we know, they don't throw snowballs or batteries at Santa Claus like the Eagles fan base.
what? No, they've never done that.
Right?
Yeah.
No, never, ever.
Why would you ever do that?
Right? No, if all goes well, we'll be at my brother's house on Christmas Eve, and then I will be celebrate with my dad on Christmas Day. But both of these would be drives all the way down into the Denver area, and coming down from our area, it could be a rough drive on I-25.
Yeah, especially with the unknown of how well they're going to plow the roads, because either they plow the roads or they don't plow the roads. And the drivers, you always got to worry about the other drivers. Even in the daytime, Culz Rock's become kind of a weird town. I remember when Brendan was out here and we went to the springs, and I was shocked by how much easier it was to get around the springs than Culz Rock. But yeah, for me, I'll be going to my grandparents. I think I might be seeing my dad on Christmas Eve. So excited there. Obviously, spending with my daughter, who's the most important person in my life. So if you guys want to stay on, I think we're going to be on a little bit longer. But for those of you that have to leave, thank you for joining us, and we will see you after the holidays. And I hope everyone has a fun and safe holiday.
Right. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Yes, you all have a great holiday. Be safe with your families, with however you're doing it. Just be safe.
Safe travels.
We want our group of fans back.
Yeah. So, Brendan, did you watch Spider-Man Lotus yet?
No, we were out of town for one of our shows, and we got some sad news on Sunday. So we're dealing with some other things going on. So
Matt, did you watch Spider-Man Lotus?
Not yet. Things have just kind of been crazy this week, trying to get stuff set up at the club and whatnot.
Well, and I know we talked about a movie that it was better than, and it is definitely better than this movie, Titanic 2. It's a real movie. Nick, if you're watching somewhere out there, we will watch this and we will do a top 10 countdown of our least favorite movies. And this one definitely should be on it. It's terrible. It's the worst movie. Actually, it's the second worst movie I've seen. Monster by Asylum beats it out, but not by much. Yeah. I had something to say.
no.
I don't remember. Matt, do you remember what I was going to... Oh, I was thinking I was just going to make announcements. We will be, if you guys are interested in what's coming up, we have obviously a bunch of shorts going live tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. And yes, happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, respect. Happy Hanukkah. I think you guys just celebrated your last night the other day, but I guess this is still the season, so happy Hanukkah. Dude, now that the screen's getting a little bigger, is that a Chippendale dancer on your hat, Keegan, with like Boba Fett? Oh, it's the Christmas story. I love it, dude. I thought you had like Boba Fett and like a Chippendale dancer.
No, I almost wore my light up dinosaur one, but I didn't. No, but if you guys are interested, we got a bunch of shorts coming out tomorrow. And then we have a throwback interview. It's actually our first interview before Culz interviews start. And then we have our 30th interview on Friday with Pastor Wayne Hansen, who was actually our very first interview. He has a new song coming out. Next week, we have our deep dive of National Treasure coming out, as well as our final review of Project Blue Book, which it's been a long journey. I know Matt and I are excited for that one, which means if you guys are watching, if you guys are interested, we will be going live to do a tier list of all Project Blue Book episodes, which is going to be hard to pick. Matt, do you agree?
Yes.
It's kind of like the Culz
Absolutely.
after hours, or Culz Sports Chat after hours right now. Brennan, did you see CM Punk just keeps getting berated in the WWE?
No, honestly, actually, after I lost my Instagram and I don't have cable anymore, I am completely in the dark about what is going on in all of wrestling, both AEW and WWE. I have not been paying attention to either of them. So
I will say it's very interesting to look back at CM Punk's time in ROH, then WWE, then AEW, and now back in WWE. There's a lot of people that don't like him. A lot of big names. Undertaker didn't like him. Kevin Owens doesn't like him. Rollins, Kingston. I mean, we got another one. People are needing a defense for the championship. Oh, so you guys are 1 week ahead of us. We are in conference, but let's see. You got Jets, Commanders, Bears, or Seattle on the wire.
I say Bears or Seattle. You're going against
Seattle.
Yeah, if I had to pick out of those, maybe the Bears. They do play Arizona. Arizona can put up some points, though.
Seattle's playing their third string quarterback, they're playing against a third string quarterback with who knows what type of offense. So
Yeah.
that one might not be a bad one.
Seattle might be your safer bet there.
Oh, I should put on my background now. Otherwise, it's just,
Well, What's
No, we're
going on
after hours.
with Jamal Adams in Seattle there, Keegan?
He made some comments that I don't think
Satwell?
sat
Because he
well.
was a healthy scratch last night.
Yeah, he's about to be shipped to the Denver Broncos to team up with his pal Russell Wilson.
Don't do that.
I
I think Philly would be okay with taking him.
I don't know if he. I mean, he can do good, but he's been usually used in Seattle as a blitz. He blitzes a lot.
Mm. Yeah, they need more coverage and.
Yeah, I mean the Legion of Boom had our blitzes obviously, but a lot of it came from the line or the linebackers. Obviously, corners and safeties did it, but man, Chancellor, Thomas, yeah, and then cornerbacks, you had Sherman obviously, and round table you got Lane, Browner. Was leaning towards Washington because they're against the Jets. That is true. I mean, the Jets' offense is pretty terrible. Ooh, that's a tough one.
I still pick CF.
That's a hard one. Yeah.
I forgot they were playing the Jets, who are a garbage fire, because I don't think Wilson's playing, right?
No.
He's out.
Yeah, he's out. It's
And
gonna be.
he's been notified he's being traded, too.
He'll be traded at the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and the team have agreed on his departure from the team before the first time he got benched. So it's been a while now.
Right. We're having a lot of comments today.
I don't know. That's a good question, Bob. Sammy's asking you.
How did you get the cutout of Eli Manning, especially in Colorado? Oh, man. Whew. I can't believe it's almost the end of the year. I don't want to end because we do have a good amount of people watching right now. So,
Well, dude, I think I'm gonna go in to the Burger King, grab some onion rings. You know, nothing beats a 10 o'clock at night onion ring from Burger King.
I don't know. I like their chicken fries. But
oh, have you been to that new Mexican place across from Jack in the Box yet?
No, but I've heard great things from it from the people who come into the club, so I'm gonna have to give it a shot.
Yeah, we gave it a shot on Sunday, and it was good. I'd recommend it.
All right.
I had a breakfast. I keep wanting to get a breakfast burrito in the morning, but I never can wake up early enough.
You know me. I'm a burgers type person, man. Give me a good cheeseburger. Culver still has some of the best, but the only thing that really kind of pisses me off with them is they got rid of their Pepsi line and they've switched to Coke, and it's not a Midwest thing. Coke is terrible. Give me my Pepsi with my Culver's cheeseburger. I'm gonna riot.
Well, and that comes to mind. We're starting a new series come 2024, right, Matt?
Absolutely. Come on a journey with us as we check out some of Colorado's hot spots in the burger world. You know, we're going to try to find that number one burger in the state of Colorado, but there's so many of them already. It's going to be a hard pick, but I'm looking forward to getting some good food.
Yeah, and wait till we put them against some of the best we've had in New Mexico, in Wyoming, and Chicago. We've had some good burgers. Will Colorado stack up? Speaking of burgers, Brendan, where can we get a good hamburger in Kansas?
I don't know about like other places, but I know here in Hayes, a lot of people like a bar called the Golden Q. It's kind of a sports bar here. They have a lot of flat screens and stuff. They probably have one of the better burgers in town.
Well, see, Matt, there we go. We've been talking about getting back out to Kansas. We need to come celebrate Brendan's birthday again. We'll get out before then because it's like far away. But after the snow season, let's say. How about that?
Yeah.
Yes, no, for sure after the snow season.
Yeah. After our experience up at Adams State. Which, speaking of Adams State, we will be going live with the evidence here shortly. And if all goes well, we should have some of the paranormal group sending in their videos of their experiences, so they'll be in the video as well. I don't know, Brennan. What else can we check out in Kansas? Give the viewers, because we are hot right now. We got some viewers watching. We're up to more than we've ever had. Currently, we have more than 5.
I mean, we have some pretty cool landmarks around here. A lot of hiking things and old dirt things. You could always go do the Oz Museum over in Manhattan. It was pretty cool to see. Go through and watch the different stuff and see the statues. They also kind of like Colorado Springs, where they have the Humpty Dumpties. They have a bunch of Totos everywhere, and they're all painted different and looking different. So it was pretty cool. Russell Stover Museum over here. Oh, the actual Russell Stovers.
Well, he found that Humpty on his first try, Brendan.
I don't know, some kid from Kansas, nowhere BFE.
Kansas.
And then I think I don't remember exactly where they were, but David did some pretty cool things here in Kansas. I'd have to go visit his page.
Oh yeah, David, Abnormal Voyages.
Thank you. I was trying to say that word and I couldn't, so I didn't.
Yeah. Hey, David, if you are
here, so
yeah, go check out Abnormal Voyages. It was funny. I was thinking about him more than just because, you guys played each other, Brendan. But there was the Expedition Unknown episode, and they were talking about Bonnie and Clyde, and I told him the story. I was like, yeah, went to the grave. Brendan brought that up because he's like, well, we go to a lot of graves, we might as well go there. And that's where we
were buried. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, and that's where we met Abnormal Voyages, and yeah, it's been good. We recommend their page. David's been great. Hopefully, we can get him on this upcoming year. We'll do some more. We'll do some deep dives. Brendan, there's also that dinosaur museum, right?
Yeah, we have a pretty cool. So the story behind that was he was working for one of the big museums. I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't think it was the Smithsonian, but it was a big name one like that. Maybe it was the one in Chicago. But they told him to stop bringing him fossils because they were full, they were good, and he opened a museum here in Hayes with a bunch of the fossils he brought back that the museums didn't want, and they have a rotating exhibit every so often. So, sometimes they'll have like megalodon or reptiles or things like that. So,
that sounds pretty cool.
Sternberg Museum here in.
Yeah, shout out to a book that I know they sell there because Darren Naish, he was posting about it. And I saw the museum. I was like, I got to tell Brendan. That's the museum he's telling me about.
Yeah. So, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, one for 2024 I'm working on, speaking of museums. It's going to be one about that sarcophaganax that we saw in OKC Sam Noble Museum. I think it was impressive. And there's been a lot of news coming out recently where it might be 8 tons, which would make it bigger than a lot of theropods outside of Tyrannosaurus and Giganotosaurus. So, Matt, will we be seeing Rexy coming out again?
Yeah, Rexy has full intentions of coming back soon. He was kind of laying low for a little bit, recharging his batteries. He had a big year the last year, so he kind of hibernated, I guess. He's like a bear, so he needed his rest, but he's feeling pretty good.
Just because we're talking comments, I didn't send this one in the group, but I got the strangest comment. It was on our final resting spot of Billy the Kid, so the grave in Fort Sumner, New Mexico. Great, go visit it. But somebody commented, "That's fake. You're trying to tell me he was buried with the people he killed." And I was like, wait, are they telling me he killed Charlie Bowdry and Tom O'Folliard. You know, the people in his gang, the people that he was friends with. You know, I showed that to James and John LeMay, and I was like, you learn something new every day on
Yeah,
that,
but they just kind of laugh about it, like,
right? Yeah, and we'll be having them back on the channel in 2024. We're going to be doing a Django Unchained deep dive, which should be fun, with our author friends James B. Mills and John LeMay. Lots of cool. It looks like Bob has rage quit.
oh. I do think we do need to have a Culz night out at the movies again and see the new Wonka movie.
Oh, God. I saw a ridiculous post about that earlier today.
What's going on over there?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, God. Some lady was freaking out because apparently no one's told her that it was a musical.
Have you not seen any of the Wonka movies? I'm pretty sure they all involve music.
I was like, they're singing Oompa Loompas. Of what part of musical wouldn't it be there? Like,
Well, speaking of movies that are cleaning up, Godzilla -1 is cleaning up at the box office. I'm seeing person after person saying how good it is, and I recommend it. Go watch it.
I've talked to a few people who I recommended it to that were like, all right, what the heck, we'll go see it. Come back, talk to me the next day at the school. They're like, thank you for recommending it. What a great movie. So, yeah, no, again, for those of you that are watching right now, go check out Godzilla -1. It is a masterpiece for, you know, the time that we're in right now, for the budget that the Japanese company had. You know, I think it was, what, 15 million?
Yeah, which compared to the 200 million that Ant-Man had, and maybe we should talk about that. Some news out of Ant-Man. Marvel's on fire right now. That is no doubt there. They what's his name that played King? Majors, right? Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
He's found guilty, and he has been fired from King the Conqueror. And we were talking about this at work earlier. I don't know why Marvel is like gung-ho on just not recasting the part. They've recasted Bruce Banner. They've recasted Rhodey. And all they have to say is it's a different King from a multiverse, right? You showed 3 different Peter Parkers. So I don't know. I heard they might just throw Doctor Doom into it and just kind of waste that character. But yeah, lots of big movie news. I'm excited to get back into movie talk. And one movie, Matt, I've been thinking we should talk about, do a deep dive, Free Solo. Do you agree?
As long as I don't have to watch it again, or at least watch it on the big screen. If I can watch it on like a little 24-inch or maybe a 32-inch screen, I might feel more comfortable with a deep dive on that. Definitely not the IMAX screen.
Well, guys, it looks like we got just a few more minutes and we'll wrap up. So if you guys are watching and want us to answer any more questions before the show ends off, please let us know. We'll give it a couple more minutes. Yeah,
I'm just going to real quickly. I saw a few minutes ago, Sammy put in the group, best football brothers. I think the Watt brothers, man. God, can you talk about another 2 dominating brothers on the defensive side of the ball? Like, it is their mission to get to the quarterback and put you on your ass. Now, those 2 are amazing, but there are so many dynamic brothers in football. So that's a great question that he brought up. And the Manning brothers might be up there. Yeah, combined, they have some Super Bowls, but I don't know. That's a good question. But for me, I think right now it's the Watt brothers. They're just such a dominating duo. Too bad they couldn't be on the same team for a couple years during their prime, one on each side of the ball. Holy cow, would that quarterback have nightmares?
Right. Hey, Matt, Colorado Avalanche.
Avalanche.
Did you see the score?
No, I've been on this conversation here.
Okay. I don't know.
Did they lose or something? Am I going to be in a foul mood going to bed tonight? Your
Brandon.
hesitance tells
They
me
did
all
not
I
lose as bad as Vegas did, but they did lose to Keegan's Blackhawks, which is what he's hinting at.
So Blackhawks.
We'll see about that.
No, the NHL is now rigged like the NFL is.
Oh, it's been rigged for a while.
The Blackhawks have the worst record, so they can go get another star player, and then they'll be back in 2 years.
Did you say
Even
in
after
theaters?
paying the dog. What?
It sounded like you said back in theaters, and I was like, what?
Well, they are bringing sporting events to theaters.
True.
So,
Hey,
yeah.
Taylor Swift was in the theater.
Dude, did you see the
Swift
score of the
has sold
Blue
out more
Jackets Sabres
football
game? Holy
stadiums than the
cow.
Carolina Panthers have this year.
Yeah, I
And
think
Bedard didn't even score.
I think Taylor Swift sold more jerseys for Travis Kelce than the Carolina Panthers sold as a team.
Probably.
Maybe
Yeah.
How
football
about this
team.
one for you guys, too? If any baseball fans out there, I think we're about 7 weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training.
Yep.
That's crazy right there. We're about, I think,
Oh.
7 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. But it ain't going to be long before we're talking baseball again here soon. And the Minnesota Twins take down the New York Yankees in the American League Championship to go to the World Series. Maybe forget that. Yankees won't even make it to the American League Championship. They'll make it to the divisional.
You know, I'll sleep through the baseball season because the Rockies aren't going to do anything. So,
right?
it's hard for me to choose to vote for them.
Well, you saw the Rangers and the Diamondbacks 2 years out of 100 loss season make the World Series. So not this year, but next year. Are the Rockies going to the World Series?
Well,
We'll
I
have
think
to
this
see,
is Buddy Black's last season. So,
Yes, no, I do agree with that.
well, I think he only has 1 year left on his contract. So,
Hey, we told the Rockies the blueprint on how to become a good
yeah, hire us as the
yeah,
head
hire
people.
us.
We got this.
Is it
Yeah,
true?
We got the rest.
Yeah,
There is a house for sale in Green Bay, Wisconsin, literally right across the street from Lambeau Field for only
$700,000.
$700,000. I say let's get in on that right now. Culz Paranormal buys its first property.
Airbnb it.
It looks like it's got a nice
Well-
size yard. That's great parking for people going to the game. You can get $50 a spot there. And yeah, Airbnb it.
Sure.
Let somebody stay the night during football season.
And purple and yellow.
We'd make that $700,000 back in no time.
Right? Each room will paint a different color. So we got purple and yellow, blue and orange, light.
Well, no, we
baby
wouldn't
blue.
incorporate any Bronco colors in that shit.
Hey,
No, it's Bears.
and
Oh, the Bears
We're
colors.
playing them
Okay.
as the rivals.
we're painting their rivals, so we get kicked out.
There we go.
Hey,
But no, I definitely want to check Lambeau Field out someday. I hear that is an amazing venue to take in a football game.
when you have Butter Burgers right across from the stadium.
But yeah, that'll be a September game for me, though. I don't want to be out when it's the frozen tundra because I don't want to be drinking a beer that freezes halfway through drinking it or
Right.
mid sip to have it freeze your mouth.
Right.
Hey, Keaton, you know how we do history and stuff, you know? I'm reading this. Is it true things happen there? People can see things like in the fields and stuff?
We actually had a guest on, Susan Massino, so we'll be seeing her interview go live first week of January. She's been to Gettysburg. She says there's a more haunted place. There's so many investigators and people walking around in Gettysburg. There's definitely energy, but who knows? She actually thinks a lot of the recreations and people
You
are.
can see the soldiers walking the fields, that they're
Right.
dead, but you can still see them.
Yeah, she thinks that the recreations are actually not letting the soldiers move on. So,
Right.
For anyone watching, there's another tease. We will be having that one go live It's our first interview of 2024. It's been filmed.
Yeah.
We're trying to work on some more. We'll see where we get. We try to reach out to Chad Kalix. So, hey, who knows? Chad, if you're watching this, like we've talked about in every one of your reviews, come on. I feel like you'll be seeing us in Roswell as well in 2024. I don't know why I've made this our end of the year one when we got one more before the end of the year review. We got next Tuesday. I was gonna do it Monday, but we can't because it's Christmas.
Yep.
So next Tuesday,
Right.
and then the week after, I think we're doing a live stream on New Year's for the rankings of Blue Book. So I don't know. Hey, I've had fun. I hope you guys have too.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. Well, if not, we'll see you Friday.
Yeah, peace out.
Peace, and hey, Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you guys have a good.
Yes,
Good
Merry
week.
Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Feliz Navidad. I don't know, Happy Kwanzaa.
Just enjoy.
Festivus is around the corner,
What do
I
you guys
think.
doing karate?
Yeah. Well, we will see you guys later. Have a good night.
Hey.
Adios.